journey began in early March. Tens of thousands of riders logging hundreds of thousands of laps and millions of miles to get to this point. Late July, early August for the 2014 and 33rd running of the AMA Amateur National Motocross Championship Finals. Hello, everyone. I'm Rodney Tomlin along with Jen Kenyon, Jason Wygant, Kevin Kelly, and Wes Kane, as this year we bring you a monumental 30-plus hours of live broadcast coverage of this amateur racing affair. A lot of key players have worked so hard to get to where we are today. The big question is, who's going to come out on top this year? Well, we don't know. We've got 3 motos to find out. And to set the stage, let's head down with Jen Kenyon, who's got our first moto lineup.
That's right, Rodney. We have already seen some amazing racing action taking place here this morning. Some of the vet classes, there's some really fast guys out there. These guys are really bringing their A game to the Loretta Lynn's ranch. We've seen Robbie Raynard already take a moto win, Ricky Renner already take a moto win, but we've got guys like Jimmy Pavoni and plenty of other former pro riders that are here today. But Loretta Lynn's is all about the kids. We've got kids like Garrett Marchbanks, Style Robertson, Mitchell Harrison, those Kawasaki Team Green kids. They're going pretty fast here this morning. But it's only day one. We've got plenty of racing here to go. We've got tons more heavy hitters. We've got the Open Pro Sport class coming up here soon. So let's get on over and see what's going on there on the racetrack.
Thanks a lot, Jen. Back up here in the Under Armour studios, Rodney Tomlin along with Jason Wygant. And Jason, I tell you, as we get set for our first live television coverage of the event so far, man, like Jen had said, we've already got a lot of the stage set as far as racing is concerned here today. And leading into this 450B limited class, I mean, I think we've had the perfect mix leading into this particular class. After this, it's 450A Pro Sport, and it only gets better and better as time goes on.
Yeah, we just finished a couple of motos with the we just finished a couple motos with the small bikes, 65 classes. Matt LeBlanc, hey, how you doing?
Hey.
Was able to take the victory in the moto we just completed. So we'll go to 450B Limited, and for the people here and for the people watching at home, we'll give you the lineup of the riders that are in this 450B Limited class. They've completed their sight lap. We've got some of the officials working really hard in the track, as you can see there. And those are the famous billboards of Loretta Lynn Ranch. Here are the names of 450B Limited. The number 11 is Logan McConnell. The 14 is Taylor Holt. 15 is Robbie Ruffner. 17 is Joaquin Falden. Andrew Sanders is the number 19. Tucker Cantrell is on the 22. Colton Camp is number 23. Daniel Mills, number 25. Parker Smith, 26. Bradley Lionette, number 28. Keith Mulvaney is number 29. Henry Miller on the number 30. Andy Cost is number 31. William Boot, number 32. Benny Bloss, number 33. Robert Perry is number 34. Kyle Durham is number 35. Elijah Rudder, number 36. Tyler Delaney, number 37. Nathan Hall, number 40. Chase Marquier is the number 41. Jonah Locks on the number 44. Jake Shyness on the number 45. This is 450B Limited. They're on their parade lap. Moto coming up here in just a moment. Kyle McElrath, number 50, is out of Canton, North Carolina. Venezuela brings us the number 51 of Harold Cabrera. From Sebastopol, California, the number 52 is Josh Moseman. From Cairo, Georgia, James Anderson on the number 53. From Miami, Florida is Sidhar LaRoche on the 55. From Banning, California, Talon LaFontaine on the number 59. Circleville, Ohio brings us Cody Penwell on the 64. All the way from Washougal, Washington on the number 65 is Tanner Berry. From Alexandria, Minnesota on the 66, Gavin Wilkins. Franklin, Wisconsin brings us to 69 of Justin Wolf. From Stedman, North Carolina is the number 71, Devin Colbreth. Westfield, Massachusetts is Maxwell Murphy on the number 74. From Poinet, Wisconsin on the number 79 is Jordan Moore. And names to throw your way. From Cairo, Georgia, Lorenzo Lacurcio, strong last year, I believe in the C class at the number 83. Blaze Best comes from Orono, Minnesota on the number 89. Dakota Hacker out of Hamilton, Ohio is on the number 91. From Conyers, Georgia, the number 92 is Tanner McCullers. And finally, from Gladewater, Texas on the number 95 is Jaden Weisberger. That is your field. Standard situation here at Loretta's as we go into our first motos, Rodney. The gate picks are determined completely at random. They put spoons in a bucket. Yeah. You pull a spoon out. Whatever number's on the end of the spoon that you didn't see before you pulled it out is the gate pick you get. And we've seen some motos already today where the favorites got terrible starts, could barely get in that top 3.
Exactly, and that's one of the things that we pointed out in the early part of this. You know, we saw riders moving up through the pack that were back in the 20s and the 15s and places like that, and you know, eventually they were working their way up toward the end of the moto, and it took a while for a lot of those riders to actually get into or on the radar, so to speak, and that's when it became evident of how important I think a start pick is on the gate here at Loretta Lynn's. I mean, this is a rather unique start in of it itself anyway, with the big sweeping right-hand turn there, and it creates a lot of excitement heading into it, a lot of speed. We got it going on once again, and wow, look at that, man. A couple of guys coming out, looks like no problems whatsoever. Good and clean. A little bit of carnage in the back of the pack, a little behind them. Tough break there for the 26. But the 450B limited hole shot, the Bell Helmets hole shot award goes to Josh Moseman, the number 52 KTM rider out of Sebastopol, California. And looks like he's already taken point here as we head through the Cometic Gaskets corner into that GoPro 10 Commandments. But already challenges being set, Jason Wagner.
Wow, this is going to be a battle right now. I believe that's Joaquin Falden on the number 17 Kawasaki. They're into those 10 Commandments. Look at all the sand that's been put down on this track early in the week. Good battling in this class. So Moseman had that whole shot, had to give it up. But watch out for the Yamaha man here on the 83.
Lorenzo Locurcio there out of Cairo, Georgia, on the Locurcio Racing Team MTF1 Industries factory connection back to Yamaha. Looks like he's got a good drive going on early here as well, Jason.
Well, we mentioned him in the C classes last year. He was very quick. Obviously has figured this thing out with a year of experience now under his belt at the ranch, and he's riding for the MTF people trying to make this happen. It has actually the 11 out front out of Kingsport, Tennessee. That's Logan McConnell. Got the lead from Moseman early here on lap 1, but he's got pressure from Locurcio. Backed by Jamie McCoy, G-Force Racing Technologies, and Jim's Motorcycle. Yes, the veteran bike shop sponsor of Mike Brown out of Tennessee, and Logan McConnell out of Kingsport, Tennessee, trying to make him proud. But here comes Locurcio on the outside of the beach.
Wow, Locurcio trying to rail the outside of that one, and we can see this track is already taking a very distinct race face out there, and I expect to see it continually change all day long as the lines will switch up, and Locurcio trying to switch it up as well and take over the point in the lead, and it's exactly what he does as the new leader now makes his way down in front of the billboard here at Loretta Lynn's. It is McConnell now in second, Benny Bloss, the number 33, not far behind in third spot, the 52 of Moseman, who got the whole shot, drops back to fourth. Chase Marquier, the 41, in fifth. Tanner Berry, the 65, he's sixth. Andy Koss, the 31, is seventh. Joaquim Falden, the 17, is 8th. Daniel Mills, the 25, and 9th. Maxwell Murphy rounds out your top 10 aboard the 74 as we kick this one off here in the top 10 of 42. And again, it's the 42 best riders in the nation making their way around right now, being led by that guy right there, Lorenzo Locurcio. And it looks like our front two, Logan McConnell and Locurcio, are about to stretch this out. But I don't think Benny Bloss is going to let him get too far ahead, it doesn't appear right now. He's right there with McConnell, it looks like.
Back into what we call Storyland. Only a few people hanging out back at this part of the track and see what's going on. They're near some of the far camping areas, Area 3, for example. And now they're going to work their way back toward the front of the track where the grandstands are. And they're going to see McConnell's trying those best in the number 2 spot of that 11 to keep Locurcio, keep some pressure on him.
Wow, just watching this, looking at this racetrack, Jason, a couple of things come to mind as some yellow flags come out. The idea of beautiful sunshiny weather, beautiful blue skies, and it's coupled with a great race right here. It looks like Locurcio is already feeling, or is that Bloss, I guess?
Bloss trying to make the move.
On McConnell right there for the number 2 spot. There's Locurcio untouched. He's already starting to stretch things out. So here comes the battle for second now. And it looks like Bloss has made the pass and got his sights set on your leader now, Locurcio, but it doesn't appear either that McConnell's wanting to give up this second place position nearly as easily as he gave up the first place battle.
So Benny Bloss, Benny has the Jets on as he takes over the number 2 spot. So it's Yamaha's 1-2. Let's see if Bloss can do something with Locurcio. He's got that lead.
Fastest lap time so far, we're seeing turn 157.297. That was Locurcio there on that second lap of racing as we catch him going down around the infamous billboards here at Loretta Lynn's. And Along with that battle for the number 2 spot, which is stretched out. Benny Bloss now got his sights set on Locurcio for the number 1 position. McConnell back in third. Looks like he's going to be having to feel some pressure and possible heat coming up soon from either Josh Moseman or possibly even Chase Marquire, who are only in a combined total about 2.5 seconds behind him right now. And that one right there is starting to tighten up. Tanner Berry back in 6th. Cost is 7th. Joaquin Falden in 8th. Still Henry Miller is 9th. Maxwell Murphy rounds out your top 10. 11 through 20 now. Bradley Lynette is your 11th. Taylor Holt running the 14 is 12th. Tanner McCullers is 13th. Talon LaFontaine is 14th. Daniel Mills is 15th. Elijah Rudder in 16th. Tyler Delaney 17th. Keith Mulvaney is 18th. Devin Coolbreath is 19th. And Gavin Wilkins rounds out your top 10. I want to point out something here as far as we were talking about gate picks being very important in this particular realm of racing, especially here at the Amateur National Championship Finals itself. Tanner McCullers got the first hole shot of the day earlier today, and I'm sure he probably drew a little better pick in that moto than what he did in this. And again, the first moto, you got to draw spoons, or actually I guess they're poker chips this year. They're kind of a commemorative thing they get to keep to take home with them, so they get their gate picks, and that is very critical and very crucial. But as always, by the end of these 20-minute plus motos,
we're seeing it happen right now. Bloss, the number 2 spot, is now within the shot with Locurcio in the lead in this big sweeper past the beach. And we're going to have a battle on our hands. We'll see the lap time here in just a moment. I've got to imagine that 33 is a little quicker than Locurcio, and they have pulled away from Logan McConnell, who is 3rd, and the rest of the field. So it could be a private battle. Shout out to Bloss. It's backed by Rock River Yamaha, so you know he's one of the elite of the Blue Crew. That's Yamaha's amateur division. Also backed by Truck Central, Smith Goggles, Pro Taper, Answer, Factory Connection, and Works Connection. So he has the factory connection and the Works connection. So you know that bike is dialed in. Factory and Works connection. They're actually, one's a suspension company, one's got some really cool bolt-on parts. And they're working their way to the long short shoot, as we call it, underneath that Red Bull arch.
Well, Jason, 158.620 was Benny Bloss's lap time last time around. 157.297 is the fastest that we've seen so far. And Locurcio actually just holding steady right there around that 157, 158 mark. He's not pushing the envelope none too much and still holding on to just enough of a lead. Will we call that a comfortable lead right now? No, especially here at the amateur finals itself. That is not a very comfortable lead, but you are in the lead, and that's where you need to be to kind of set the pace, set the standard of what's going on in these motos.
There you see Bloss, big, tall kid, just trying to get on deep into the seat, make some of those tight corners in the back. Probably try to make some time up in the fast stuff here. It's your 450B Limited. It's what would have formerly been called 450B Stock. But as always, even the stock classes allow for a few changes to adjust the bike for your style, especially if you're unbelievably tall like Bloss. So with the limited amount of changes they do allow just for rider comfort, they now do call it the limited class instead of the stock class. They're back into view now. We're in the announcer's tower in our Under Armour studios, and we can see these two Yamaha riders trying to duke it out, Locurcio and Bloss.
Well, folks, if you're following along or want to follow along on Facebook, on Twitter, on Instagram, at Loretta Lynn MX and at Racer TV are the two that you want to follow along, and you can hashtag all of your social media with hashtag Loretta Lynn MX and hashtag Loretta's Live, and that way we can keep those all together and keep everybody in the same conversation at the same time. But again, follow us at Loretta Lynn MX and at Racer TV, and hashtag those at hashtag Loretta Lynn MX and hashtag Loretta's Live. As we roll through lap number 5 now, Lorenzo Locurcio continues to lead Benny Bloss. A little change back there now as we were anticipating some change, but wow, look at this. Marquire now up to the number 3 spot, about 5 seconds off the pace. Lap time that he's turning his best of 1:59.148, and that was actually on lap 4 when he made that move past Mosman into that number 3 position. Now Mosman running in the number 4 spot. Andy Kost is in the number 5 spot. Tanner Berry is 6th. Henry Miller 7th. Joaquin Falden still back there in the number 8 spot. Bradley Lynette in the number 9 spot. Logan McConnell, the number 11 machine, now has dropped back to the number 10 spot as Maxwell Murphy is 11. Taylor Holt is 12. Daniel Mills 13. Tanner McCullers 14. Talon LaFontaine rounds out the top 15. We're not seeing a lot of passes going on right now, and I don't know whether that's because of the conditions of the track or whether those guys just established themselves like that early on.
Well, I thought Bloss here in the 33 was going to make a run at Locurcio. He got it to within about a second and a half. But your leader on the 83, Locurcio, has pulled it back out. Now it's a 2.3 second rig off to the side of the track. Now into the twisties.
What I got to say,
still trying to make up ground. Go ahead, Rodney.
Yeah, I was got to say, I was watching back there. I saw over the back shoulder there in one of the shots just a few moments ago, Mercure not really that far back on board the number 41. He's turning about 0.8 of a second faster lap. The thing is, he was 5 seconds plus behind Bloss for that second place position, and Marquier looks like he's got his head down and charging here near the halfway point of this moto, so Bloss could be feeling a little more pressure more quickly than what he anticipates or even expects here in the latter part of this moto, as Chase is definitely laying down the chase right now from the number 3 spot.
Okay, so Chase is chasing Benny, and Lorenzo Locurcio getting away on the number 83.
A little further back, we're watching Andy Coast, the number 31 Yamaha. Looks like he's closing up some gap on Mosman now for that number 4 position. So we got a battle starting to happen, or should be starting to happen there fairly soon. I think one rider we probably might want to watch, he's down now near fastest lap times, 1:59.754. He's all the way back in 6th place right now, Jason. That's the number 30 of Henry Miller. Miller 3.1 seconds back behind Andy Koss there as they wrapped up lap number 5. But again, a 1:59.754 out there in that traffic. You know this kid, if he can get out to the front of the free room out there, turn down some pretty fast laps. And even with that being said, if he can make easier work of some of these riders to get around him with that kind of speed out there, then he might become a little bit of a factor. Maybe not necessarily in this moto, but we're going to start seeing this number 30 here of Henry Miller, who's in 6th. He might, in latter motos, in the 2nd and 3rd motos, once he gets better gate pick choices, become a real factor to start factoring into this. But again, actually, Miller turned a 1:58.864 on lap 4, a 1:59.754 on his 5th lap. So I mean, he's staying right in there in the same lap times as your leaders up front there, and Locurcio's dropped to the 2-minute range. Benny Bloss is in 2:03 now, but still Chase Marquier 1.7 seconds behind Benny Bloss for the number 2 spot. So we got a battle shaping up, it looks like, for 2nd place as Miller works his way through the pack aboard the number 30. We'll see and keep an eye on him to see what happens there, but it's Bloss and Marquier, the 41, that we want to watch, who's pulled to within now 1.7 seconds and running about 4 second faster lap last time around.
And it is starting to tighten up just a bit in some of those spots as Locurcio with that 5-second lead, he can back it down just a little bit. We're watching the 30 of Henry Miller, a little bit quicker than the riders in front of them, Kost and Mosiman, as you were talking about. So Miller just trying to salvage something here, trying to get it maybe in the top 5 or potentially in the top 3.
Marquier, man, I don't know if he's slowing, or maybe he's just using that extreme inside of that line, and he's opening up the door is what he's doing. I think maybe a possibility of he might have relaxed a little bit too much on one lap. I know it's hard. Whoa, and look at that. That right there gives you a pretty good indication of what the way that bike is bouncing around. You got to wonder if maybe some suspension setup might not be right where it needs to be right now. And that might be why he's not able to ride that edge that he's used to riding, because he slowed his pace down quite a bit. As here comes the 33 now of Bloss back on Marquier, trying to fire back on that. But actually, Marquier moving up through the pack so fast, maybe he just needs to go faster through that to smooth that suspension out. That might be the key for that rider. I see now that he's starting to pick the speed back up. He's taken over 2nd from Bloss. Bloss is trying to take it back from him. That's what we're seeing. But it looked like, I swear, I've been in situations where the slower you go, the rougher the racetrack is. And that might be exactly what Marquier has set up in his suspension.
Yeah, it is surprising when a guy catches and passes someone to take over 2nd. Then they start slowing up, and they nearly hand the spot back. See Bloss not giving up here through that sand wash, now over what we like to call the anthill, that big mound they build on the inside, help make both lines in that corner work. Look at the different lines you're taking, totally different, outside, inside, working the way up to lap traffic. You're watching Marquier on the 41 in the number 2 position. Bloss back in 3rd. Mosiman, who had the Bell Helmets whole shot, back to 4th. Andy Koss 5th. Henry Miller, we mentioned him making up some time, and the riders in front of him on the number 30 is 6th.
watching these lap times too, and the gaps between the positions as Lorenzo, Lacurcio, Marquier, and Bloss wrap up lap number 7. We look, an 8.5 second gap now goes to 9.6 second gap between first and second place, and it's still within about a second and a half between second and third. But the one thing that I've noticed this morning is those first place positions, man. We've seen so many of these guys, once they get out, and I don't know whether it's because they get the advantage on the start or what the case may be, but we're seeing riders check out with 10, 15, 20-second leads whenever they come across the finish line at the checkers.
Yeah, we have seen some dominance in these first motos. I think part of it is not all the contenders get the starts in those first motos because of those oddball gate picks, and you're really set up for the showdowns in Moto 2. And Moto 2 might be the most pivotal motos of all here, because you get into Moto 3, and then a lot of times riders are already set in a position. They don't maybe need to win the moto to win the title. So the first moto, you got to salvage something if you get the bad gate pick. Second moto, you got to go out there and win it. No excuses. No excuses right now, 83. Lorenzo Lacurcio, who's just got it super dialed here. Lead of about 9 seconds.
Well, as we roll through this one, we are 7 laps deep now. Lacurcio, Marquier, Bloss, Moseman, and Koss now your top 5. Henry Miller still holding steadily at 6th. He is now challenging Koss for the number 5 ride, so the 31 and the 30 battling out on the racetrack. It was 1/10 of a second whenever they came by the finish line a moment ago. Tanner Berry, who is hitched on with Henry Miller, running in at number 7 spot. Logan McConnell is 8th. Bradley Lionette is 9th. Talon LaFontaine rounds out your top 10, and it looks like Joachim Felden falling back to 11th. Maxwell Murphy in 12th. Taylor Holt in 13th. Daniel Mills at 25 and 14th. James Anderson the 15th in 53 and 15th, I should say. The 71 Devin Culver 16th. Jaden Weisenberger is the 17th place rider. Elijah Rudder is 18th. 19th, Tyler Delaney. Gavin Wilkins rounds out your top 20 aboard the number 16. He's been holding steady right there since the drop of this gate, at least the end of lap number 1, Jason.
Folks that are watching us live at home on RacerTV.com, don't go anywhere. Right after this, we're going to have a Pro Sport Moto, and that might be the most stacked and possibly fastest one of the week. Of course, when you have essentially 4 A classes, you never know who's going to face off where. But we were watching in practice yesterday. This Open Pro Sport 1 will be good. Here is the 83. Lacurcio, he just got it dialed. He had some pressure from Bloss on the first lap or two, and a good job of stepping up. Another thing we have to talk about, I'm sure there's even the potential for arm pump in these early motos, and I have to wonder, Bloss putting that charge on early, then losing a bit of ground, that might have been what happened. These first motos are tough. You don't get practice out here either. They ride on Monday, learned the track yesterday, and you got to go out and get a parade lap, and you just race today, so no chance to get the arm pump out in practice or anything like that.
And no way to blame the heat for anything this year either, because we have got perfect race conditions, I think. Temperatures in the upper 70s, lower 80s right now. Some spotty, partly big, fluffy white clouds around the area. A light breeze that is blowing that is nice and cool, keeping it very comfortable. I mean, kind of sort of like what we saw last year, but I think it still feels as odd as it did last year to have these types of conditions in Tennessee this time of year.
Yeah, last year at least they had a big old storm blow through, and that's what cooled everything off. We had the storm to blame. This year it's just not hot. The temperature is just in the 80s all week. I don't remember ever having weather like this down here.
No, but the racing might heat things up all week long too as time goes on, because the 83 machine, again, 10.5 second lead at the end of lap number 8. He's gained about a second over the rest of the field lap after lap so far. As we look at the diversity in lap times, 2 minutes .027 for Lacurcio, 2 minutes .982 for Chase Marquier. That was on lap number 8. Lap 9 a 2:02.819. So even Lacurcio slowing down, but we see that he's dealing with some of those lap markers now and trying to get through some of the lap traffic. But with a now 10.5 second lead over Chase Marquier, I think that he can say that, barring no major mistakes, he should be able, if he can keep this pace, take it on home to the checkers. We are getting closer and closer as lap 9 in the books, and lap 10 I'll be closing up here shortly. Yeah,
that's it. White flag is out, so he just got to try to hold on here in the 83. The MTF rider backed by Triangle Cycles. Triangle Cycles been putting riders up on top of this podium for a long time. Remember, Brock Tickle came through with backing for Triangle Cycles back in the day. Lacurcio trying to lock down a moto win here. And you can tell, I think he's backed down just a little bit. Doesn't need to push with a 10.5 second lead. He went through that Yamaha mechanics area and got the pit board, I'm sure, telling him. Plus, he's got some lappers to deal with. not going to be easy for him. So, yeah, I think you can see by the riding style, he's backed the pace down a little bit. Mark here up to second and pulling a little gap on Bloss, who is in third.
So a good opportunity for Locurcio to gauge himself in this racetrack, and he can get a pretty good idea what the competition and who the competition for Moto 2 are going to be. And I think that he knows as well as you and I have probably figured out that Chase Mark here could possibly be one of his biggest challenges whenever the gate drops in Moto 2 for this 450B limited class.
Yep, all about the starts and all about the gate picks in these first motos. As our man Wes Kane likes to say, hey! Well, he likes to say that, but he also likes to say, you got to be a junk man. Got to salvage something in these first motos if you don't get the pick, or if you have a bad crash, or just a bad start even with a good gate pick. This guy had it all dialed in, though. No troubles whatsoever for the 83. Lorenzo Locurcio takes the first moto of 450B Limited. He's pumped on that. He's going to head down to the podium, and unfortunately, he will have to talk to Kevin Kelly. I would not wish that upon my worst enemy, but oddly, that is Kevin Kelly. So that would mean I am then not wishing that he would interview himself. Imagine that. Try to wrap your head around that, everyone at home.
157.297, the fast lap of the moto, turned by Lorenzo Locurcio, who takes the win. His final lap of 201.524. Marquier checks in 13.5 seconds back in second. Benny Bloss will take the number 3 spot. Josh Moseman in fourth. Henry Miller, a good solid ride. That's going to be one I think to keep an eye on as well. The number 30, we saw him get stuck back there in traffic. He did get up as far as 5th, but he was running within tenths of second as fast as the fastest lap out there, turned by Locurcio. So he'll be one to watch in the coming motos. Andy Cost taking 6th. Tanner Berry in 7th. Logan McConnell was 8th. Well, should be 8th. We're still waiting on the 8th place position and 9th and 10th place riders to check in. But it looks like Tanner Berry will take 7th. McConnell will take 8th aboard the number 11. Talon LaFontaine will be your 9th place position. And Bradley Lionette will round out the top 10. And just an FYI, still keeping it as the throttle twisted as much as he possibly could. I think one to watch in later motos. Let's keep an eye out for the number 30 of Henry Miller, who got stuck way back there in the pack. But right now it's Locurcio, Marquier, and Bloss ready to celebrate down near the podium, where Kevin Kelly stands by with our top finishers here of the 450B limited class. Well, I think that maybe, Kevin, you might have to turn the power pack on your microphone there to make sure that we've got power down there. But regardless, we got moto winners to crown here in just a moment. And Jason, I tell you, a good start. These motos, everyone seems to be filling everyone else out. This is kind of your typical start to the Loretta Lynn's. You know, a lot of times you'll see these guys that they'll come in no holds barred type racing where they'll be slamming off each other.
Yeah.
Today, what we've seen so far seems to be most of the riders seem to be feeling out the racetrack, feeling out the other riders in the competition during this first moto.
Yeah, it hasn't been unbelievable battles yet.
Right.
But like we said, that first moto thing is a weird situation here. Everybody's trying to manage a championship, and I really think, they're trying to learn the track. I guarantee you that some of these guys got tight and had arm pump as an issue. Track's a lot different than it has been in years past.
Yeah,
Well,
it
it's
is.
sand they put down.
I know, and we've seen that happen before, and we kind of figure and assume that every year it's going to make some monumental change. And so far, as the week progresses, it turns back into the same old Loretta Lynn's, and I kind of expect that this year. But man, even for these first motos, I mean, we're talking about it this morning that the sand was starting to get worked in, but maybe there's a little more, and that's going to create that roughness that we're seeing out there. Those big, deep ruts, those big braking bumps and acceleration bumps. And somebody that just went through all those, of course, is Lorenzo Locurcio, who stands by along with Kevin Kelly and Wes Kane down near the podium.
toughed my way through the start. I almost got into the lead once, and Lucurcio just started leaving me. My foot started to settle in, and it was really, really hurting. And I just tried to ride and smooth and stay healthy, and Chase Marquet got by me and ended up staying out for third.
Well, way to tough it out. Who would you like to thank for all the work?
First off, my mom, my dad, the man above, Robbie Raynard, everybody from RTC, Robert Raynard Mods, Rock River, everybody from there, Answer, Pro Taper, EVS, Smith, Works Connection, Factory Connection, Bell, FMF, everybody from there, Maxima, Pro Filter, Atlas, Matrix, Garnet, anybody else I forgot, thank you so much.
Great work. Let him hear it. It is Benny Bloss. He's going to finish up in the number 3 spot. Great work, Benny. Be careful getting off here, my man. We'll bring up our second place finisher now. We're going to got the quick, put that around your head. Chase, great job out there. Who would you like to thank?
I'd like to thank the Lord Jesus Christ for keeping me safe. My mom, dad, brother, my mechanic Dan, he's awesome. Getting the bike awesome for every moto. Axo, Scott Goggles, Factory Connection, all the guys over there, Brandon, Ziggy, helped me out a lot. Speed Graphics, Pro Factory Hoses, Garnet, Naveen, Jeff over at All Sport Dynamic, Def Fam, Shades of Gray, Bell Helmets, and Fifth Gear Cycle, and anyone else I forgot. Thank you guys so much.
Great work. He finishes up second. He's in the hunt, folks. Chase Marquet. Now we're going to slide on around the back of the bike, bring up our winner. Folks, I want to make some noise for Lorenzo Lucurcio. Make some noise right now. The crowd loves it. Put that around your neck, Lorenzo. Tell me about it. How'd you finish up? How did you get to this spot on the track?
Well, yeah, I got a pretty decent start. You know, I wasn't front, but I managed my way through the second, third corner, you know, and I just make my way into the lead. You know, my factory connection, build-up tires were hooking up great, you know, and my factory connection suspension, I can't thank Siggy, Brandon, Zach, Mike, everyone enough, you know, the best suspension period, you know.
Anybody else you want to thank?
Yeah, I want to thank MTF, you know, Colleen, Little Brian, Big Brian, Brad, Tony, my new trainer Tony, I own everything to him, you know. Yamaha, Donnie Lewis for helping me out with everything I need. One Industry for keeping me fresh. Smith Optic. Pro Circuit for the awesome pipes motors. And everyone that I forgot, thank you so much.
Great job, Lorenzo Lucurcio with the win in the 450B class. We are underway racing west, and we'll toss it back up to Rodney Reynolds and Jason Wygant.
Rodney Reynolds. Got the mustache looking good. Bell helmet, hole shot at number 28 here. Marshall Welton out of Michigan. He's got it. This is an open pro sport class. Definitely one to watch. We've already got some passes being made. Got the 32 making the move here.
The 32 is Ika Hughes from Porterville, California on the 2x promotions Answer Pro Taper SMX scooters back Yamaha.
All right, so he's taking the lead from your whole shot rider, Marshall Welton. Give us some of the names that we're going to be watching here in Open Pro Sport, Rodney.
Well, we'll be looking for riders like the number 3, Nick Farrell from Townsend, Delaware. The number 7, John Murray Barr out of Glen Allen, Mississippi. We got the number 12, Tyler McSwain from Shelby, North Carolina. All top names in this Open Pro Sport class. Aaron Lampy out of Fishkill, New York. The number 13, the 14, Shay Thomas out of Kingsley, PA. The 18, David McFarlane out of Pinellas Park, Florida. The 19, Mike Dockery out of Jamestown, North Carolina. 21, Bryson Taylor out of Cholula, Florida. Also 22, RJ Hampshire out of Hudson, Florida.
And Hampshire already into the lead. He made a move there as they're headed into Storyland and past those GoPro 10 Commandments. So Hampshire on the 22 Honda, a lot of hype around him with that Amsoil factory connection rod. Going pro as soon as this event is over and taking off. Give us some of the other names out here, Rodney.
Looking at the 25, Thomas Galuzzi. We're looking at 26, Brandon Peterson. Also the 27, Corey Pennington. 28 will be Marshall Welton, who got the whole shot. The 30 of Derek Kemp. 32 of Ikua Hughes. The 33, Bryce Harkey. 34 is DJ Ellis. 38, Connor Green. 41, Dylan Walker. 42, Justin Jones. 45, Colt Nichols. 47, John Short. 51, Josh Cartwright. 57, Darian pro sport classes. We've seen them all grow as Hampshire continues to hold down point here, Jason, aboard that number 22 machine. A lot of big names in this one, and one that was really dominating in this open pro sport class last year. Talking about AP, Aaron Plessinger. We're not seeing a lot out of him just yet.
Must have been the bad gate pick again for Plessinger. And we'll see how far up in the order he can go. Fourth at the end of lap number 1. Hampshire in the lead, already starting to get away. We got this battle going on. Welton had gotten the whole shot there in that number 28, but Plessinger, here he is. He's gone from 4th to 2nd now. There is Plessinger on the 74.
Well, with Plessinger, Plessinger, he's got Tucker ahead of him. We've seen Tucker running a lot of the Amsoil Arena Cross Series this past season, doing quite a great job of that. And a relative who's who. This is the one that I think a lot of people are excited to watch and come see down here, the Open Pro Sport, because like you said, with R.J. Hampshire, this is one of his last event. I'm sure Keith Tucker, some of his last events. Aaron Plessinger in the same boat there. These guys all ready to make that big next step up.
So Plessinger in 2nd. We're going to keep an eye on the lap times and see if he can catch Hampshire. It's a 154 for Hampshire. And Plessinger a 154 also. About a half second quicker, though, is Plessinger on the 73. So Plessinger closing in just a little bit. Gap's already 4 seconds because Hampshire got the drop on everyone, taking the lead in the first lap. We're going to keep watching, though. This Star Racing Yamaha, Plessinger on the 73. Fastest rider on the track, 2nd place. A little bit quicker than your leader.
Only a half second faster, but 4.2 seconds back. But again, he was working his way through some lap traffic. This is going to be a riding clinic, I think, put on by Aaron Plessinger right here, right now, as he goes through the Cometic corner now, head toward the GoPro 10 Commandments. And Plessinger's going to be a lot of fun to watch ride. And I'm sure that Hampshire realizes who's back there, and you know that he's got the hammer down right now. 154.5 lap time. He's turning some fast lap times. A 154.064 in the traffic, trying to make passes. Plessinger in 2nd. Marshall Welton, who got the whole shot, holding on for 3rd. Colton Nichols moving up now into the number 4 spot, a 156.889 in the traffic. He's in out there. Welton, the 158.3. There were 2 seconds separating those guys, so you know a good battle going on for 3rd right now as Ikua Hughes rounds out the top 5. But here comes Tyler McSwain from back in the number 6 spot. Keep an eye out for the number 12 as well. I think we're going to see some great running there. Franklin Norgea back in 7th. There's Keith Tucker all the way back in 8th. This is the place to watch Keith Tucker run from as well, because this guy, when he starts behind the 8 ball, seems to go so much faster than under normal circumstances. And he's behind the 8 ball, and you know he's got the hammer down right now as well. So it'll be fun to watch him work his way up through as we continue to watch Plessinger now. As we said, 4.2 seconds as they came by the finish line a lap ago, separated he and Hampshire. Now we'll see what the case may be.
All right, yeah, we're going to get another read of the lap times here. Plessinger coming through.
154.687 for Hampshire as he goes through. Whoa, Plessinger actually slowed down. He lost time about a half second, a little more than a half second, so it goes from a 4.2 second to a 4.6 second gap now between Hampshire and Plessinger. So maybe Hampshire's got his A game on out there. He knew what he had to be working against whenever the gate dropped out there, so he came ready.
Well, Plessinger, though, really tall, even when he sticks his leg out in those corners, despite the 4.5 second lead. I think Hampshire's able to actually see that. He's still within 1 leg's length of the lead. No, I'm just kidding. It's not nearly that long as he's into the Cometic corner and now the GoPro 10 Commandments. He really can't see Hampshire just getting through that corner before he gets there. We go a little bit further back. Got Colt Nichols out of Oklahoma making moves, getting around Welton.
Yep, well, he gets around Welton. McSwain should be coming on pretty strong as well here soon. Well, actually, no, there was 13 seconds all the way back to McSwain. He's gotten into number 5 ride, so something's really separated 4th to 5th now, and McSwain has got a little bit of free track ahead of him. He turned a 2:03. Everyone else, 155, 157, and Hampshire a 154 in the top 5, except for McSwain. He was at a 2:03. So now that he's got a little bit of clear racetrack, might see something a little different. But here comes the battle between Welton and Nichols still, and looks like Welton more than his work cut out for him after that hole shot, and might have surprised himself a little bit out there, you know.
Nichols been at this game for a little while. I think a lot of people figured, maybe he too, thought they might turn pro. Last year, there's some rumors of racing Plessinger did. We're watching him on the 45 Kawasaki. Welton back here in the factory metalworks back machine. Talking about his 5th. So let's see the lap times on Nichols. 156, not quite the pace of Hampshire and Plessinger. And by the way, Hampshire distance between himself and AP.
Lap. That one was a 154.137 as opposed to the .064. So you can see we're splitting hairs. He's running nearly identical lap times out there. You can't get much more identical than that. Plessinger at the 155.172. Colt Nichols a 156.548 in third. Marshall Welton a 158.687. Change back. McCullough switches things around. Now it's 18 seconds back to 5th, but McCullough now holds on to the number 5 spot as McSwain drops to the number 6 position. 7th place is IQ Hughes. David McFarlane now is 8th. Frank Noriega is 9th. Carlos Bandalla is 10th. Josh Cartwright. Wow, there's another one that didn't get off to the greatest of starts right there. Josh Cartwright in that number 11 spot. Bryson Taylor is your 6th place position, or excuse me, is your 12th place position. Darian Sinai is in 13th and 14th. Cameron McAdoo 15th. Justin Jones, Blair Miller in 16th. Axel Hodge is 17th. Mike McDade is 18th. Connor Greed in 19th, and Cody Van Buskirk rounds out your top 20. There's Dylan Walker all the way back at 21st place. So a lot of names that we kind of expect to see closer, if not into the top 10 right now, or even top 5, are still struggling to get through the top 20, and teams right now to even break into a top 10, it looks like.
Kevin Kelly back up here in the tower. Yeah, I turned his on, but not mine. Back here in the tower with us. Now, you've hit most of the amateur nationals this year all around the country, the different events from Mammoth, and I know you're at Ponca a week ago. Talk about what you're seeing here with your we knew Hampshire would be fast coming in. Plessinger, have you been able to see them face off much, or is this one of the rare showdowns?
Yeah, that was what I was going to mention. Like, I haven't seen everybody at one event, and that's why this event, of course, is so unique. No, I think RJ's been hurt for a while. Aaron's been healthy for the last 3 quarters of the year. And Colt Nichols just was in Puerto Rico beating Tyler Bowers and Nick Way, so Ryan Holiday was super high on him. He had him picked as your winner here. So, no, not everybody's been swirling around all over the place getting healthy. And it's funny, they're all healthy at one race. It's going to be good. Yeah,
they got to get a feel for each other right now. Plessinger threw down a fast lap on lap 2. That was actually the best lap time of the moto, but since then he hasn't been able to find that 154 lap again, and Hampshire's getting away. 6.5 second lead for RJ Hampshire out of Florida. Notice a lot of work with Tim Ferry, Plessinger working with Matt Walker. So you're not anybody in this A-class unless you're working with some sort of ex-pro.
He better have at least one championship to his credit in some capacity, or you're behind the 8 ball. And, yeah, you're right. Nobody's been at the same race at any given moment. I would have put my money on Plessinger just because he's been healthy the longest. Everybody else, they've been nursing something. And then you got a guy like coming up later on, Jordan Smith, who's nursing a massive ankle injury that he tweaked just the other day. It was swollen up, barely could walk. You got Benny Bloss, who's on crutches. That wasn't a joke.
Yeah, he was on the podium
on his crutches. They had to pull that boot off and almost had to cut it off because he had a big cut gash that he was playing in the river, I believe. Cut his leg like an 8-inch gash. And not pretty. What a soldier.
Impressive that he was able to race at all. When we heard about this yesterday, we're like, oh, that guy that did that, there's no way he'll be able to go. And Lily went.
He went and he led it.
Led and got up on the podium. So well done.
On his crutches.
On your screen here, you're watching a little battle between the David McFarlane and the 18 Honda and the 12. Right behind them, there in the 78 Suzuki. We're into the sand wash. And it's the 18 of McFarlane.
Yeah, I was just going to say Josh Cartwright stuck back there in the number 12 spot. I've been watching him at the Winter Olympics, if I'm not mistaken, that he was one of the fast guns out there making his way up through the ranks. So we kind of expect to see some big flashes of brilliance out of him this year at Loretta Lynn's also. Again, trying to work his way up through this very talented pack of riders. And is firing back, it looks like, on McFarlane for that number 6 ride.
And Garrett's going through on the 78, making the move. So that'll put him up into the 7th place spot, pushing McSwain back. Look at McSwain trying to come back through the billboard turn. Oh, Nogueira's able to make it stick. So now Nogueira wants to go after McFarlane. And another rider in this group, Darian Sinai, who I believe had the fastest lap times of anyone in this class yesterday in practice. We had him on 20th place on lap 1. Must have been that bad gate pick. I know I've been saying it a lot. I'd say it's a broken record. I've said it so many times, but we're at an amateur race, and these kids are too young to even know what the term broken record even means. It means that I'm repeating myself a lot. But Sinai, probably another victim of the bad gate pick, into the 10 Commandments, making moves. He's on the Kawasaki right there, the 57. He's picked off 1. He got the 78 of Nogueras. Now can he get McSwain, who's on the number 12? Watch out. You think Sinai's got a shot at top 5 before this one's over?
Well, the way he's riding right now, I wouldn't put it past him. I know the biggest obstacle he's going to have is about 8.5 seconds between 6th and 5th. I know I can say that I expect him as far as 6th, and we'll see what kind of time he can make up. We are running short on time. That is lap 7. We had 10 laps for the 450B limited with that just a few moments ago, so I expect 10 or 11 laps here as well.
Makes the move on McSwain. So he got Nogueras and McSwain in 1/2 of a lap. So Sinai showing that speed that he had yesterday, bringing it to the actual race day, and that will put him into 7th. But you know he's not going to be happy about that. Monster Energy Team Green rider, he'd like to pass the 18 Honda of David McFarland, and we're into the beach, and he's going to try to make this happen, Rodney.
Wow, he is trying to make it happen just like you said, as quickly as possible, not waiting around for the next lap or trying to set him up someplace else. Look at that, railing it on the outside, pulling up side by side, sets himself up for the inside of the final turn before the push to the finish line there, and is able to make the pass, and a beautiful pass at that.
3 passes in the course of 1 lap.
Wow.
He was in 9th when they came through a lap ago. He is now in 6th. He picked off McSwain, Nogueras, and McFarland.
Now here's where the obstacles come in. 11 seconds now separating he and Cody McCulloch, the 67, who is running in the number 5 spot. Both riders turning in the 2:01 range. It wouldn't surprise me to see Sinai turn this up another 3 or 4 seconds if McCulloch does not do the same. And Sinai is able to get down into the 154, 155, 56 range. 2 more laps in this race, we might see that battle for 5th place shape up a little quicker than what I even anticipated.
Well, Sinai needs it to, man. He's got to at least try to get top 5 to stay in title contention. It would be tough to get a title with a 6th in Moto 1. I mean, the speed hasn't been the issue, just the bad start. So he's got a lot of work to do. Hampshire's lead is now 8.5 seconds over Plessinger. And again, I have to go back to some of the factors you see in these first motos as far as our pump as we go back to our later Hampshire here on the Factory Connection Honda. Well, you can see why he's got a lead. He just destroyed that corner as they go toward the billboards. He is on the move, and now dealing with lap traffic. I don't think that's going to be a problem when you have a 9.5 second lead as it is now. He can take his time through some of these riders.
So 8 laps down for Hampshire, Plessinger, and Nichols. The gap now 9.4 seconds between 1st and 2nd. Another 7.2 back to the number 3 position as Marshall Welton, who grabbed the whole shot in this one, looked like they were trying to pick on him there a little bit early on, and still holding steadily in 4th, about 12 seconds behind Nichols, but a good solid 4th. Another big gaps that we're seeing like that, 25 and 20 to 30 second gaps, even for some of the winners earlier this morning. But in that 5th or 4th to 5th place, 24 seconds now is what it is, because it's changed, because Welton now still holding on to 4th. May see, well, he won't see the pressure coming in from him, but he will see the lap times about a second faster. Cody McCulloch now 2:01.809, and that might have been his saving grace. Someone must have given him the pit board over in the mechanics area, the Yamaha mechanics area, because McCulloch picked it up just enough there. Sinai dropping his time to a 2:02 instead of moving it up to the 156, which we kind of anticipated could be the case once he got through all that traffic. Not the case, though. So Sinai still back 11.2 seconds back in 6th, and he might be done there. But that's still a lot to be commended on there. And I know you said the likelihood of winning the overall with the 6th place position finish in this first moto are very slim. But the great thing about this, 3 motos, and anything can always happen. And it's not saying that no one has never done it. We just say the likelihood is a little more difficult.
Well, especially when you have to deal with Hampshire, who's on his game. Now, RJ has never won a title here at the ranch. It's really pretty recent, him coming on at the elite level. I'd say probably about the last year and a half or 2 when he really started to come into his own and make a name for himself, and then picking up this factory connection ride, like everyone else who's had it in the past, always seems to take you to another level.
You know, that's the exciting thing about this for a lot of these riders. These somewhat mediocre to better, not wouldn't want to say mediocre, but mid-pack to upper mid-pack riders. They get that something happens out there and something clicks and somebody recognizes their importance and their abilities and talents, and they say, if we give them that little extra edge, then they might be able to excel. And that's exactly the kind of things that we're having. Those riders that are great, but with just a little bit more support and backing can be even greater.
Hampshire, solid lead right now. Yeah, 2-lap board, so a lap and a half to go. Now, Hampshire's sister, Marissa, actually did win a title here back about 11 years ago in the women's class, so the family's certainly familiar with how this works down here, and being from Florida, I'm sure they've been surrounded by plenty of fast riders. As you mentioned, RJ does work with Tim Ferry, and all the lessons paying off here. He would love to get 1 or even 2 titles here in his last go-around at the ranch. Had some bad luck last year with injuries, never really got to show what he had, but this year could be the year for the number 22. But I don't want to talk too much. It's only the first moto, and we've seen crazy things happen. But Hampshire, no doubt about it, has everyone covered in this first moto. There he is on the 22.
So as Hampshire makes his way around, we'll see a white flag out this time. The field looks like this with just a couple, or now 1 to go for your leader. Hampshire, Plessinger, Nichols, Welton, and McCulloch. McCulloch 26.4 seconds back in 5th. But a great ride for him, and Darian Sinai, who worked his way up into position, now about 9 seconds out of the 5th place position. I would say that he probably spent himself with that big push that he had. David McFarland in 7th aboard the number 18. In 8th, the 92 Carlos Bandaglia. In 9th is Tyler McSwain, the number 12. John Short, the 47, rounds out the top 10. Franklin Norgea is the 78 in 11th. Bryson Taylor in 12th. He's on the 21, the 59. Mike McDade, wow, he's up to 13th now. He was running back in 18th and 19th the last check. 14th, IQ Hughes. In 15th, the 81 Suzuki of Cameron McAdoo. 16th, Justin Jones, the number 42. Jerry Robin, the number 85, running in 17th. You remember Jerry from, I believe it was last year, came on the 1985 Honda. He actually, did he win a championship on that bike? I think if he didn't, he came awfully close.
He won one on a slightly newer bike.
Yeah, but he was
he was old.
A contender in that one. Josh Cartwright now dropping back to 18th. Axel Hodges, whom we've seen in novice class stardom there a couple of years ago, the 96, now in 19th place. Blair Miller rounds out your top 20 aboard the number 95, and that was with a lap to go for those guys. And now Hampshire coming around on this final lap through that big Rocky Mountain ATVM.com sand wash sweeper area. It looks like I understand the sand wash. It looks like a washboard is what it looks like. This is some of the deepest sand, some of the deepest ruts, some of the deepest acceleration and deceleration bumps I've ever seen on this track, even at Loretta Lynn's. I mean, I would say this is pro national caliber racetrack the way it's looking. I've seen some of those tracks get that bad, but never even Loretta Lynn's get this bad.
No, especially considering it's the very first day of racing. Hampshire backed by Amsoil.
And I don't mean bad as in a bad way. I mean challenging as in having a very distinct race face is what I mean by bad.
These riders like it that way. That'll separate the boys from the boys, I guess, considering they're all pretty young in this class. Checkered flag is out. Hampshire had that one by about lap 4 on. He was in complete control, but he was so darn fast. He logged 11 laps. We rarely get those kind of laps in at the ranch, but they're lowering the lap times big time. Plessinger will finish up second. You saw him roll through on the number 73 Yamaha. Colt Nichols third. You saw his charge through on the number 45. Marshall Welton, who had the Bell Helmets Whole Shot Award and $100 for it, will hold on for 4th, or we think so. Hasn't come across yet. See a couple other riders battling, and you hear that all the time here at Loretta's as Welton does take that number 4 spot. But you hear it all the time down here. There are battles throughout, and for some of the riders whose goal was just qualify, this is maybe the elite level that they'll get to. They're not planning on embarking on professional careers. even a fight for 30th is a big deal to them.
It most definitely is. The Hampshire, Plessinger, Nichols, top 3. Welton in 4th, looking for McCullough to check in anytime in the number 5 ride. Sinai, McFarland, Bandalia in 8th, McSwain in 9th, and John Short rounding out the top 10. And we head down to the podium where I believe Kevin Kelly stands by with our top finishers here in the Open Pro Sport Moto.
All right, thanks a lot, Rodney Tomlin. Wes Kane down here on the podium. Our Bell Helmets $100 Whole Shot Award going to number 28. Come on up here. Marshall Whitland, come on up here. Rider number 28, Kevin Kelly, wrangle him up here. Here he is. Come on, guys, put your hands together. Bell Helmets $100 Whole Shot Award. Marshall Whitland, great job. All right. Good job out there. Tell us about your start.
I started first gate on the inside, and I got the jump. I looked to my side, and no one was next to me. So, good start, I guess.
Tell us who you want to thank.
First of all, my dad, and Colin Max, alias Scott, but can't really do it without my dad and family. This first year in A class, trying to get some experience for next year, and finished off with a solid 4th, I thought.
Congratulations out there. Great whole shot. All right, coming up here, finishing 3rd, Colton Nichols. The 45 of Colton Nichols. Great job. Put the hardware on your neck, Colt. Congratulations out there. Tell me about your ride.
Yeah, it was all right. I got a little squirrely on the start, but it still came out okay. Then I was out there trying to put it down, and Plessinger got around me really quick. I made a mistake, and then, man, after that, I was just kind of struggling around with arm pump. I kind of rode around out there and just kind of cruised. So hopefully next time we can get up there and push a little bit. We're going to go make some changes to the bike and then come back up for the next moto and hopefully be strong.
Who do you want to thank?
Everyone at Kawasaki Team Green, all the dudes over there, Babbitts for letting me pit out of their semi, Thor, Alpine Stars, Passion MX down in Costa Rica. I'm out here just trying to prove my worth and get a ride for next year. So out here just having a good time, trying to mix up with all these kids.
Congratulations out there. Let's hear it for Colt Nichols. Now finishing 2nd to 73. Come on up here, Aaron Plessinger. Let's put the hardware on you, put some bling to you. Great job out there. Tell us about your ride.
Yeah, I got off to a great start, and I was in top 5 and got in behind RJ past Colt, and I just rode my own race. RJ's riding awesome. Props to him, props to his moto win, and yeah, I just I'd like to thank the whole Yamaha Blue Crew team, Star Racing, Rockstar, Yamalube, GYTR, Smith Optics, MSR, Enzo Suspension, Garnet Boots, Bell Helmets, FMF, Dunlop, and everybody else. Thank you so much.
Congratulations out there, Aaron Plessinger. We'll see you in the next one. All right, moto winner, come on up here, RJ Hampshire. Congratulations out there. Let's get behind your bike so we can get you in the shot. There you go. All right, guys. RJ, tell me about that ride.
Well, I picked 41st gate pick and all the way outside. You know, my team's back there pumping me up. I got a great start or a great jump and just held her pin all around the outside. Ended up coming out like 3rd and was ending up in the lead first lap. You know, I was pumped and rode my own race, rode smart and smooth. And, you know, my Amsoil Factory Connection Honda team, you know, they worked their butt off for me and I worked my butt off for them. So, you know, I'm happy to be up here for them.
Tell me about the track out there. Not hot, steamy conditions, a little cool. Tell me about it.
Oh, you know, the track's great. It's rough. Separates a lot of riders. And, you know, I feel like I'm ready for it. You know, I've been getting ready for the outdoors. So, you know, I'm here and I'm happy and I'm healthy, so that's the main thing.
Congratulations out there. Put your hands together, guys. RJ Hampshire takes a gold medal and a moto win. Rodney Tomlin, Jason Wygant, up to you in the announce deck.
All right, thanks a lot, Wes Kane. And, of course, as the race day rolls on here, we find ourselves in a bit of an intermission here at Loretta Lynn's as a lot of track maintenance going on. We've seen the work going on out on the sweeper turn and various sections of the racetrack there. And so we know that they got a few minutes to work on some things. The great thing is the track is perfect. Just takes a little bit of dozer work here and there. Rip that up here, rip that up there, and it makes it a lot more passable for some of these other classes coming up, like the Super Mini 1, 12 to 15. They'll be coming up here shortly. That's race number 11. Race number 12 is going to be the 85, 9 to 11-year-old class, so they're going to need a little not so deep ruts out there, I guess you could say. Then we get back into the old school stuff, man. This is what I really like. The two-stroke BC class that we got coming up. I mean, I remember a few years ago when we introduced the two-stroke class to Loretta Lynn's. We started out a moto, if I remember, maybe it was a schoolboy class where they were all two strokes, but it sounded so cool to hear what it sounded like in the middle 1980s, 85, all the way up through the mid-90s anyway, what it sounded like with all the two-stroke motors just echoing through this valley at one time, and we'll have the opportunity to bear witness to that once again, Jason Wygant. And I think it's really neat, the great diversity of classes that we have. Not only that, but the great diversity of riders that we have and the great championships that still lie ahead. And, of course, Jason, I know with this right here, we got a lot of cool things going on as far as racing, a lot of things going on in and around the facility itself, like what we call part of the Loretta Lynn experience. But I think one of the cool things that we got coming up this week that a lot of the race fans here and families are going to, I think, really enjoy is the experience of getting to see a live concert with Jamie Lynn Spears on Wednesday at 8:30 as Honda presents Jamie Lynn Spears in concert. We got tickets all over the place, but it's free admission. If you make your way down here, you can see Jamie Lynn Spears in concert.
I'll buy your ticket. Take you on a date, Rodney.
All right, I appreciate that. For that, I'll buy you a Pepsi or a Coke or something there.
Which costs real money, so I'd be excellent trade on my part.
I've got friends. So Frank from the pizzeria down there, he'll help me out, I'm sure.
That's Jamie Lynn Spears.
We'll come back with more of the great racing action here from the Amateur National Motocross Championship right after this.
Sometimes you come across something so different, you just have to stop and check it out. The Rocky and OEM parts. Our extensive inventory means most orders arrive in 3 days or less. Get low prices, quick shipping, and incredible customer service. Rocky Mountain
at the track or on the trail. Amsoil for any engine.
No matter where you live or what kind of bike you ride, there's a common bond and passion every rider feels when they turn that throttle. Join us for the latest chapter in the groundbreaking film legacy that celebrates the motorcycle and those who ride.
It's a disease, and once you have it, it doesn't leave your body ever.
What do these motocross racers all have in common? They're members of the American Motorcyclist Association. You don't have to be a motocross superstar to join the AMA, just support the sport. The AMA protects your right to ride and race. Plus, you get a lot of cool member benefits, like American Motorcyclist Magazine, roadside assistance, and great discounts. Protect the sport and join the AMA, where riders belong.
And welcome back to the Dude Ranch and this 33rd annual running of the Rocky Mountain ATV MC Amateur National Motocross Championship at Loretta Lynn's, presented by Amsoil. Rodney Tomlin along with Jason Wygant, Kevin Kelly, Wes Kane, Jen Kenyon, all in the house here. We got a full house as far as talent to keep us abreast of what's taking place here this weekend, or this week, I should say, Jason Wygant. And wow, we've only witnessed 2 motos on ActualRacerTV.com so far today, but so far we've witnessed 10 great races getting ready to roll into race number 11. And wow, what a day. I mean, already the plot thickens for Moto number 1, not in just the 2 classes that we saw a moment ago, but it seems like every race that we've seen out there, it's not really come out the way that we expected in the wash whenever it was all said and done.
Yeah, for starters, though, For starters, I'll talk about this 65 class that we had right before we started with our B and A classes that you just saw here. Jet Reynolds was the defending champion in one of the classes, and you almost never have defending champions in a 65 division. Usually the rider at the very top of the age bracket, he's the oldest rider in the class, he wins, and then he's done. Jet Reynolds actually won it last year and was still young enough to come back this year and upset in the first moto. Ended up, I believe, 9th. Able to potentially pull out a title with maybe a 911, but like I said, that would be an emergency. Then we just saw that A-Class moto. Who knew? RJ Hampshire actually had the 41st gate pick, and he took the lead in the first lap and blew everyone away.
I guess that kind of blows out our theory, Jason Wygant, of gate pick is extremely crucial and critical here in the first moto. But he might have been one of those situations where he just got lucky. You know, maybe a couple guys came together and or they just happened to leave the one gate that needed to be left open to grab that hole shot from him.
Yeah, he just railed it around the outside, I guess, and then we thought that Plessinger would put the challenge to him. He was not able to do that. Plessinger ended up in second place in that moto, but a pretty big gap back to the leader, Hampshire, and Plessinger just gave it up to him, said he ran a great race. We'll see maybe a rematch coming up in a little bit. We got a guest in here. We got our buddy Emil from Three Palms out in Texas. Just talked to you outside. You got a little, obviously, everyone's here for business in a way, but it's really just fun. I mean, it's motocross. Who doesn't want to come here? It's work, kind of, right?
Yeah, absolutely. You know, I wasn't able to come last year, but usually try to make it every year. And this year, you know, we just got a little time off and was able to come here and get to see my buddy, Jason, and get to see all my friends. You know, we have a lot of friends that make the trek down here from Texas.
Yep.
And, you know, so we're just excited to be here. And, of course, the track is amazing. I walked around there, and, boy, it's real nice.
Do you have some riders that ride there at Three Palms in Texas a lot that you're watching here that are coming here as hopefuls? I would imagine so.
Yeah, we do. I think we've got about
26 different riders that ride at your track a lot that are here.
Yeah.
Now, do you know these folks? What kind of personal touch do you have when you're working there at Three Palms?
You know, Three Palms is a very unique track, and you've been there.
Yep.
And our customer base is very broad, and we're very thankful to have as many people as we do. But some of the people we know very well, and others just in passing. We've got a lot of people from Louisiana that come and visit our park, and let me tell you, I love.
Oh, right, yeah. Hey, we kind of live and die by that ourselves with our. So I know exactly what you're saying. And the best part about coming down here, who would have thought that you'd be getting out of the Texas heat by coming to Loretta? It's normally the hottest place on earth, but it's been pretty darn nice so far.
Yeah, you know, that's a very interesting thing. But the weather's amazing, and I think the track's going to stay together pretty good because we don't have that high temperature and the humidity that we generally have here every year.
So you're saying that's something to deal with. It's hard to keep a track in perfect shape when it's that hot.
Oh, yeah.
You probably dealt with this a time or two.
Yeah.
Well, Emil, thanks for stopping by. Say hi to everybody over there at Three Palms, and maybe we'll come by and get to ride there a little bit in the spring like I usually do. It's always fun when you open your doors up to everybody like that.
Yeah, absolutely. And we look forward to seeing you. And don't forget, we've got the Fast Lap Three Palms Cash. We're giving away 3 today, and I'm not sure which motos they are.
So we're going to give some money away for the Three Palms people. All right,
that's
pretty
cool.
cool.
Not for Three Palms people per se, but we picked 3 motos.
Yeah.
I'm not sure which 3 that we picked today, and the fastest lap in that moto today will get $100.
All right,
Oh,
just
yeah.
because you're a good dude.
I guess.
Okay. Emil, thanks for stopping by. We'll bring in a couple other guests. I think we can get Cliff here from GoPro. I'll help you out. Thank you. And GoPro's got a bunch of cool things going on here. Every day, as a matter of fact, they've got giveaways. And we'll bring Cliff on in. Now, GoPro, we've been talking about it for the last couple of years. Now they're really in the news as the company has gone public. And the situation, it's not exactly a bike part, but it kind of is. I mean, it's something you can put on the bike, you can put in the helmet. But I think for the kids that are riding out here, they need to have 2 tires on the bike, and they must have a GoPro on there as well. It's super critical nowadays. Everybody wants to have one, Cliff.
Well, they have proof.
Yeah,
go back home,
that's right.
They went to Loretta's and Mom and Daddy spent a lot of money, and they had a lot of fun.
Talk about some of the giveaways and things that you guys have planned here, especially for people here on site, what they can check out by the end of the day.
Right next to the announcer's tower here, we have a booth set up that we've been doing now for 4 years.
Yep.
And we brought some accessories. We're helping people out with mounts. We got some T-shirts, but the most exciting thing is we give away a camera and a prize package at 5 o'clock every day.
Yep.
Now that's a Hero 3 Black 3 Plus edition, battery backpack, SD card, accessories, a chesty, and a handlebar mount for here. And then after Loretta's, we send you an email for $100 discount that you can purchase a silver or black up to 2 weeks after Loretta's. And I think while we're streaming here, we have a special for the audience that's watching.
All right.
So what we do is we have a text to win program here, and it's you take out smartphone, and you text the message, the short code to GoPro MX. That's GoPro MX to the number 46776, and you will get that on Monday or Tuesday of next week for the viewers. Everybody's out there watching this that didn't make it or just decided not to come, and you get $100 off. Now that's $100 off a silver or a black camera. This is just something that GoPro doesn't do, but we're here to help and support the riders and the families that participate here.
I think what's pretty cool about GoPro, I mean, obviously it's become a huge company now. It's gone public, and we see some of the commercials are even branching beyond the action sports thing when they're just strapping it to some toddler running around and things like that. But they're still true to the roots. I know it started actually as a way to record surfing, and then motocross was one of the first action sports they're involved in. So even though there's so many great uses around the house that are not even related to sports at all, you guys are still pretty solid in the action sports market.
Yeah, there's not a part of the video industry that we don't touch.
Yeah.
Every reality program, from Deadliest Catch to chasing down hogs in the middle of the nowhere, we've got a good plan.
Mm-hmm.
People depend on our product to get what they need. We were one of the first to the market to do an action sports camera, and the owner of our company, Nick Woodman, has stayed true to Supercross and motocross, and we just keep expanding it. We've got an exciting new mount that we just came out with last week called Sportsman Mount. Now, for your bows, your guns, shotguns, any kind of fishing rods, that along with our music department that we've gone with, and a real exciting part that we've started doing is called UGC, which is user-generated content.
Yep.
And the user-generated content is from the fans, people who get something really cool, send it to GoPro. We work out a licensing agreement with them, and when it goes viral, the end user, or the guy that sends it in, ends up doing really good off of it.
Really?
It's an exciting part about our company, and because we're getting to see what people are doing with our cameras and showing it to the rest of the world on GoPro.com.
Wow, that's cool. That's better than YouTube. Go to GoPro.com and you'll see some really good stuff on there.
Absolutely. We get a lot of our content off of YouTube.
Yep.
Contact people and go from there. But that department is just busting wide open.
Yeah, I'd imagine. And the cool thing is, I know that a lot of people might even have them at this point, but you're giving the camera out every day. You got to be present, by the way, at the GoPro booth, which is right downstairs from us at our Under Armour Studios announcing tower. And you're giving out the $100 discount, even if you already have one. You might say, well, I already have a camera. There's really no limit to how many you might have or want. You could have one pointing forward, have one pointing backwards. We're using some we actually have mounted on the track. So that's one of the cool things. You could actually go riding on your practice track and put it in the right spot, and you could actually then watch footage of yourself instead of having someone go out there and have to videotape you.
With the GoPro app that we came out with a couple of years ago, you can shoot direct to your phone, pull it off your phone, upload social.
Yep.
And it gives you instant access to your camera footage and your editing for Instagram, Twitter, things like that. And our studio that we supply to people free. Also, it gives you step-by-step on how to start your edits. We give you copyrighted music that you can use without any problems. And, we just keep expanding. It is the world's most versatile camera at the world's greatest sport here.
Yeah, I know you've been involved here in a variety of ways long before we even thought of having technology like this. It's got to be a thrill just to be able to come here to Loretta's, hang out with these people.
This place is amazing. The first time I was here in 1985.
Are you kidding me?
I was here in 1985 for an ATV championship.
Wow.
I brought a bike up for a friend to ride, and it was Labor Day weekend, and my friend raced Jeff Cernick's.
Oh, yeah.
And there
of course.
used to be a dirt track, I think, where the convenience store is.
Yeah, the TT.
The
Yep.
TT. And I raced Jeff Cernick's here. And then I didn't come back until 2011. And I just couldn't believe how it expanded.
Right.
And just how the family involvement. This place is just amazing. I know I keep saying it over and over, but what the Coombs family has done, what MX Sports has done, and to create the ultimate amateur championship in the world that people want to come here to win, to further advance. I mean, you got to be here to take. This is the step you've got to take to be there.
Absolutely, and now you get to record it. You get to show people what
Absolutely.
you did.
So, like I say, I want to thank everybody for being here, and I don't know who ordered this weather, but I owe them a tip. This is unbelievable how nice it is.
Yeah, it has been crazy, and it's not supposed to really change, so we should be in the 80s all week. Cliff,
Oh,
good work. Yeah, we'll try to keep it nice and cool for you. That's Cliff Nobles from GoPro, and for you folks here on site, you got to be present to win the camera. That's 5 o'clock every day, and if you give them their email, they'll send you a discount as soon as you get home. So no limit to how many GoPro cameras you'd want to have. If you got 8, you want 9. If you got 9, you want 10. You guys give them the chance to do that. Cool.
Thank you.
No problem, Cliff. And he'll be here all week. If you got any questions about the camera, the mounts, how to edit, and anything else that you might need. And we're continuing to roll through here with Intermission. I'm going to bring my man Wes Kane on in here, and we're going to do a little bit of bench racing. Thanks, Cliff. You can see the riders are already lining up for our next set of motos. That'll be Super Mini 12 to 15. Wes, you and Rodney were here on the morning shift. You were on the morning shift. Talk about what the track was like in the morning and what you're seeing shape up now, my man.
Well, they put a lot of white sand down here to hold up the moisture. People remember from years back, it used to be a lot of sawdust.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, we showed up here, a lot of white sand over all the track, especially the starting gate. I think that seems to be slowing it down a little bit, not letting it get so hard packed, and it's starting to be a little loamy in areas where you don't have like 6 or 7 ruts and hard, choppy, square edges in these turns. You can actually get a nice berm and rail some of these turns coming in and out throughout the facility here. I think it's great. I love it. There's a picture of the starting gate right there. You can see a lot of white into it, and I think it's making for a great racetrack.
Yeah, if anyone saw some of the photos or videos on Instagram on Sunday when we had a mini cycle race that Red Bull put together, it looked like they were racing on the beach. That's how much sand was down there.
It looked like they brought back the old racing on the beach down at Daytona, where a lot of the road racers back in the day started racing.
Yeah, that's what it looked like. All right, we got Jen Kenyon down trackside. Let's send it down to her.
All right, guys, for those of you who are at home, you may not understand just how much work goes into putting on a race like a week-long amateur national here at Loretta Lynn.
You're over there, and
I'm standing here in front of what they call the impound area. If you don't know what the impound area is, it's where they stop the top 10 riders from each moto here this week just to make sure everything's okay. They stop them for a couple minutes. If there's a protest, this is where it all goes down. I'm standing here with MX Sports race director Jeff Canfield. Jeff, this is your impound area. Can you tell us a little bit more about what goes on over here?
Yeah, well, basically, Jen, what we do is here, top 10 in each moto will come into the impound area. We will mark down their frame numbers because, as you know, you have to have the same bike that you start with. You got to have it for the whole week. At that time, if there is a problem or a protest, we will hold the bikes here, figure out what the protest is, and then administer it accordingly. One of the cool things about this area as well is any rider that's coming off the track that may be under heat distress or anything, they can pull in here. We've got drinks for them to have. And, being in here, it's pretty rewarding to see the parents when the sons and the daughters do really well. It's very rewarding.
Yeah, this is kind of like a corral of things. Obviously, the impound area, it's meant to do all the technical aspect of the rules and that kind of thing. But, yeah, like you said, they've got tons of water jugs over here. There's some sort of concoction mixed up. I'm not sure if that's Gatorade.
I don't really know what it is either. I saw that just a little while ago, and I don't really know. It is like Gatorade of some sort.
You know what? It's also a housing area for the staff while they take a break from things. We've got this lovely little 2-card. We've got some folks over here. This lovely guy, Mr. Chad Bailey, he is actually the man behind the board. Chad, how does it feel to have such a cool job?
Good. It feels really good.
So do you kind of shake your hips a little bit when you're out there?
No, I'm too old for that.
All right. Well, hey, have fun out there. Good luck. And stay hydrated with all these electrolytes back here.
Thank you.
All right, guys, we got some bikes hitting the track. It looks like these guys are doing their sighting lap, and we're going to get back to racing.
Thanks a lot, Jen. Real quick, we'll talk to Brandon Parrish here from Rider Assurance. Kind of an underrated program, I feel, something that a lot of people should probably focus on. Talk about what you do real quick.
Yeah, basically we're an action sports source for insurance. We help all racers and riders get the right health insurance policies, supplemental accident policies, Lloyd's of London, life, disability, and the main perk of our deal is that we've talked to all the insurance companies and found out who has the exclusions for racing and riding. So therefore, you're covered 100%.
Right. So with you folks, you can get insurance that actually does cover you if you have an injury while racing, which is a huge difference between generic insurance when people don't even probably look into that.
Exactly. You don't have to try to get your gear off. You don't have to lie, tell me you fell off a ladder.
Yes. And it's possible to get this. This insurance does exist. You can guide them through the process.
100%.
Absolutely. All right. How can they get more info on that, Brandon?
Riderassurance.com. We're also located next to the Rocky Mountain ATV rig, the Rider Assurance rig over there.
Cool. All right, we got to take a real quick commercial break. We'll be back. We'll have our Super Mini Moto. Stay with us here on RacerTV.com. Thanks, Brandon.
Thanks.
Your coolant. One of the most important things is almost always overlooked. Evans Coolant is the first coolant to be 100% waterless. What does this mean? Tear to save you money and to make your engine run longer at peak performance. For more information, visit our new website, evanschooling.com.
Yeah, you better show me how you do it, bounce into it. Yeah, you better show me how you better show bounce.
Racetech Gold Belt. Improved bottoming resistance for minis, guaranteed and made in the USA. Expect to be impressed.
Back here on Racer TV. Lap out there at the moment. I'll give you the names and the numbers. On the number 11 out of San Antonio, Texas is the number 11 of Gabe Kerala. From East Nassau, New York, the number 13, Hunter Henkel. From Titusville, Florida, Colt Eigenman on the number 15. From Brazil, Florida, Enzo Lote, number 16. Fort Dodge, Iowa brings us Jaden Works on the number 20. Richard, Missouri's Austin Forkner is on the number 21. Skiatook, Oklahoma's Caden Davis is on the number 22. Boise, Idaho's Wyatt Bondsmith, the number 23. Syosset, New York brings you David Milana on the number 25. From Taylorsville, North Carolina, Hayden Hefner on the number 27. From Clio, Michigan, Matthew Gross on the number 28. From Danville, Virginia, Shane Mize on the number 29. From Port St. Lucie, Florida, Chase Fosnot on the number 30. Corey Carson is from Bayville, New Jersey on the number 31. Of course he is. From Orlando, Florida on the number 32, Jordan Bailey. From Decatur, Texas, Garrett Sharp at the number 34. From Metamora, Michigan, number 35 is Joey Crown. From Greensburg, Pennsylvania is Vincent Duhovy on the number 36. Sean Cantrell on the Newbury Park, California is on the number 37. From Oak Grove, Missouri on the number 38 is Tanner Stack. From Crowley, Texas, on the number 39 is Zane Merritt. From Whitney Point, New York, the number 41 is Dawson Driscoll. From Santa Rosa, California, the number 42 is Josh Wilson. From Martins Ferry, Ohio, number 44 is Clay Prager. From Topeka, Kansas, number 46 is Kevin Morans. Gordon Keck is from Solvang, California, number 47. Chase Sexton is number 51 from Illinois. From Pennsylvania, the number 52, Mark Hushon. From Oregon, the number 55 is Austin Black. 56 is Chris Torres. 57, Cam Barboa. 58, 58, Justin Rodbell. Mitchell Falk, number 62. 65, Jeremy Kowalski. 66, Chris Fortier. 71 is Mason Kershaw. 73, Noah Skinner. His card goes sideways. We drop the gate on Super Mini 1. 77 is Devin Sedaris. Max Markov, 82. Gage Pace, number 89. Hole shot is going to go to one of the names we just threw out there. I believe that's Markov on the number 82, grabbing that hole shot. Mitchell Falk in there as well. Number 91 is Carson Brown. Dalton Dyer is a 92. That's your field in Super Mini. Jason Wygant and Wes Kane ready to call the action here in Super Mini. And it was Falk on that number 62. Grabbing the hole shot, but quickly shuffled back to 38. Tanner Stack.
Stack coming in there hot. Look at him now, 4 wide as they head through the 10 Commandments. And Stack now jumping right up in there. Mitchell Falk, number 62 KTM ride with a great jump. He's going to take the $100 hole shot award from Bell Helmets, but now watch him now as they head under that Honda banner and head back into Storyland. Look at Stack, stacking them up out there. You know you got to sprint out in these races here. The field is so deep. Look back there, Jason, as they come ripping through those berms out there. Where is that little guy, Markov? He looked like he jumped up there a little bit, but now he seems to be fading back in the pack.
Trying to get away. Team Green Rider, and they're into the sand wash.
You better watch that sand wash. It's a little rough and choppy in there. A lot of lines. They can go inside and out. Look at that guy almost getting kicked off his machine right there. And 4 wide. Look at this guy way outside trying to use that momentum shot, slingshot move around some of the competitors, taking the choppy lines to the inside.
Tanner Stack has got it right now. Mitchell Falk right behind him. But you got to watch Kawasaki coming on strong from behind. We got a bunch of Team Green big players here. Could that potentially be Sean Cantrell on the number 37? Could it be Austin Faulkner? Kawasaki has really stacked the deck, and on the top of the stack is Stack. Tanner Stack with the lead. Third place rider behind Falk. Going to get the name real quick here. His number plate was already covered. That's actually Joey Crown on the Kawasaki number 35.
Crown got banged up earlier in the season. He had a broke leg, but able to come back now. He looks like he grew about 6 inches out there. Joey Crown actually taller than his dad now, Matt Crown. There's Chase Sexton out there. Christopher Bevo Forte in there, the 66 machine. Sean Cantrell back in 6th. Austin Faulkner, not used to seeing him back there. Didn't get the start he needed, but they say Austin Faulkner's the man. Let's see how he does in fares. It's just the first lap. Anything can happen.
Yeah, I didn't even recognize Crown back there. He was a 65cc rider not that long ago, and he was a little guy. Mini machine, but making it work for him. About a 1.5 second lead on Falk. You got to feel, though, that Falk is going to be dealing with some serious pressure. Look at this battle behind him. 3 wide as they go into the Storyland.
Storyland's going to tell the story now. Watch them now as we can see our riders in the backdrop kind of photobombing this shot here, and it's still going to be Tanner Stack, Mitchell Falk, Joey Crown, the number 35 machine, part of the Michigan Mafia, up there charging the flag for MCR Racing. Chase Sexton, Forte, Cantrell, Faulkner, Gabriel Jalare, and there's Max Markov, that little guy out there, and Jordan Bailey.
Chase Sexton on that Yamaha. Got to watch him in 4th. He's right there in this fight with Crown, trying to take it to Falk for the number 2 spot as Tanner Stack on the number 38 gets away out of Missouri, of course, back by Monster Energy, Kawasaki Team Green, as well as Thor PR2 suspension, JGR, Spy, and he's trained by our old buddy, Nario Izzy. Oh, yeah.
Is he? Yes, he is.
Yes, he is
trained by Izzy. There he is, Tanner Stack. Yeah. To stack up now.
Falk closing in, though.
I'm seeing it now. He's got his Papio Pocket Fisherman out. He got it on an infomercial late night TV, and he's got it on slow drag as he's starting to reel in. Your leader, the number 38 ride of Tanner Stack. Chase Sexton now pulls a koala bear move and passes Joey Crown. Now it's Sexton, the 51 Yamaha ride, moves up in the 3rd.
Yeah, and Sexton, the fastest rider on the track that last time around, a 2:02 for your 3rd place rider on the blue bike. He is closing the gap, so we might have a 3-rider fight. How about Mitchell Falk getting that hole shot, getting shuffled back, now making a run for the lead? But he's going to have to deal with Sexton here in the 51.
Sexton's nothing to be played with. He didn't get a great start this morning. This guy came back out of the 20s and all the way back and finished second in the Moto prior earlier today. And now he says, you know what? I'm going out for vengeance out there. And he's putting all the chips on the table. He's pushing them all in. And look out!
Stack.
A miscue.
Mistake for the 38, and that's going to put Falk in the lead for the second time. Look at Chase Sexton charging, though.
This thing is like a crock pot. And the lid's about to blow off of it right now. Let's watch these riders go at it now.
Oh, we got the right ingredients in here. This is going to be something fun to watch. Just for the moment, Stack now resetting himself in second. Sexton back there. And watch for those flying Kawasaki riders in formation. Crown, Cantrell, Forkner are 4th, 5th, and 6th. You'll see them in the back. And some of these longer shots, they're coming. We could have a 6-rider battle for the lead in this one.
Jason Wygant, I don't think we've seen what we're going to see out of Chase Sexton. I think as the moto rages on, 3 laps to go, you're going to see Chase Sexton really come in there. There's Mitchell Falk. He kind of looked over his shoulder. He can see the green fender back in there of Tanner Stack. Stack's won down here before. He knows what it is. But look at that. If you got a camera, use it because you can get all 3 riders in one picture frame.
If you see the moment, freeze it.
That's right.
Use
if
that
you got
camera.
lemonade, drink it right now because these guys right now are gobbling up this track. Here they come right in front of the announcer's tower. There he is right there. It's going to be Falk, Stack, Sexton. Joey Crown's in the mix somewhere with Sean Cantrell.
Sexton trying to make the move on Stack. And if you can see in some of these shots in the back, you folks at home can catch it. You folks here at the ranch, check it out behind the billboards. It is a 3-rider duel. 4, 5, 6, Crown, Cantrell, and Forkner are all over each other. You mentioned the camera. Team Green guys, just take a picture in there. You got your whole photo shoot done for the year because you can get all 3 Team Green Super Minis in one shot. And I think all 3 of them will catch this lead trio as well.
Keep an eye on this guy back here, Jordan Bailey. He's won here before. He's on the KTM. He's a Red Bull athlete. He's training down there at Millsaps. They've got big plans for this guy. They're going to try to get him through that feeder system like they do with all their athletes and see how they come out. But Jordan Bailey doing a great job out there. Probably our last year we're going to see him. He's about 8'5" tall in this class.
They're super minis, so everybody looks a little bit bigger.
Tall.
He's
so
super
on
tall.
a super mini.
There's that 3-rider battle. Look at that. Cantrell, Forkner, and Crown just swapping it. Back to our leader, Mitchell Falk. So many credentials and so much talk about the other guys, but Fox are one getting it done right now.
Yes, they are. And Forkner, you're going to see him. He's diving in there. Where's he at? Off to the side of the track. He jumps back into the freight train, but Forkner now is making something happen. Watch him now. He doubles in. They're in the tree land. They'll go through the twisties down the long, short chute. They'll watch this drive to the outside by that competitor.
Forkner trying to work an outside. I'm trying to work over a Jolly Rancher right now. Big thanks to On Track for hooking me up with some candy.
Hey, maybe she'll hook you up with a college education.
They never have too many degrees, I can tell you that. It's like Jolly Ranchers. Look at this battle. Forkner doing everything he can to get around the 35 of Crown. In stereo there, they're side by side. You can hear them together. Wow, Forkner still managed to get to the outside to make that pass.
Comes around that sweeping turn now. Watch him now. To and fro. Like Balleray, they were in like pirouette formation as they come through there. Take the shot, take the shot. And Forkner sees the doors open and seizes the moment and jumps right in there.
Okay, so he's got a little work to do because Cantrell slipped away in 4th place now. He's all alone. While Crown and Forkner were battling, Cantrell pulled him. He's 4th. No change in the top 3, but it is still close. You got Falk, Stack, and Sexton, and they're headed into that long short shoot. And folks at home, Wes Kane is going to rip that part of the track up with his bare hands, autograph it, and send it to you. One lucky winner will get to put the long short shoot in his front yard. It's a huge thing to do for charity, Wes Kane.
Either that or I'll bring a bulldozer over. But right now, look at this. It looks like Tanner Stack is trying to answer back a little loose through the 10 Commandments, and here comes Chase Sexton.
Yes. Looking for lines now. He wants to find an opportunity to make the pass.
Sexton's now all over the back of Tanner Stack like Russian radiation.
Wow. Remember Chernobyl. Here comes Sexton down to the inside. Oh, a look over the shoulder. But actually, it looked to me like Stack wasn't looking at the rider directly behind him. I think he was looking further back on the track. He better realize that Sexton on that Yamaha is right there.
Absolutely. Here he comes, jumping through there. They're going to make their way through the twisties. Now they end up in the sand wash. Yogi's in the sand wash, and here they come.
And those Kawasaki's back there, 4th, 5th, 6th, creeping in ever so slightly. Sean Cantrell throwing down a 201, or 201.5. That was a little bit quicker than Sexton. and a little bit quicker than your leader, Falk. But the fastest rider that last time around was Tanner Stack in the number 2 spot. I think they're just exchanging mistakes. Somebody has a good lap, somebody has a bad.
Oh!
Sexton!
Sexton goes down. The crock pot is boiled over, and he is ejected. The man off his trusty steed.
Man, you saw it coming. We were stirring up the spices, all the ingredients. It was getting hot, boiled over. He's lost one of them. Sexton now going to have to try to remount a charge. Bad news for him. That group 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th was so quick, they might all get by him before it's over.
Well, a little breathing room then for Mitchell Falk and Tanner Stack. Those two guys can dice it out. Look, nobody threatening them right now, so it's down between those two riders out there. Falk is riding a ride that dreams were made of down there at the ranch.
No dog days of summer for him.
Well, it was the dog days of summer for Chase Sexton.
Absolutely. Whoa, Stack!
Whoa!
Where did he find the line around the outside? He could have made the pass, but there was a lap rider. You could tell he did not know which way to go. That old Harley. Bars are swapping side to side.
Hey, he's got Apollonia on the handlebars now as he comes into the 10 Commandments.
Stack on the inside of the 38. Falk on the outside of the 62.
Look out! Oh, to the inside. He shows him a wheel. They're jousting like gladiators in a square octagon. A Pier 6 brawl, a battle royale is erupting here in the Super Mini 1, 12-15.
Wow. We got octagons and we got Pier 6s. We got all kinds of odds and even numbers here. 62s, 38s fighting it out. And somehow Falk's still in the lead. I thought for sure Stack was going to be able to make that pass.
Stack's all over Mitchell Falk like a rabid dog on a stray cat in a back alley.
They're in heat right now, but not literally. It's only the 80s today at Loretta Lynn. It's not quite what we're used to. And maybe that's why these kids are able to open it up. And I'm telling you, the group that was at one point 5th, 6th, 7th, they're closing the gap. Sean Cantrell is now up to 3rd because of the crash by Sexton, and he is getting closer and closer to this group.
You better watch Austin Fortner back there. He was down about 10th or 11th on the first lap. Fortner, and no discredit to any rider out there, this is a tough class. And if you're 3 or 4 positions out of the race like that, you got a lot of work to do. You better get your oar out and start paddling, and paddling hard and fast.
Oh, they're doing it, man. They must hear the music. They know they got to paddle faster and get out of here. Here comes Fortner, and here comes Cantrell. So another lap in the books. We're about halfway through this. This has been, I think, the best race I've seen so far today. Mitchell Falk with that Bell Helmet Whole Shot Award. Made a mistake, dropped back to 3rd, has fought his way back into the number 1 position. We actually have an instant replay on one of Wes Kane's actual phrases here. Not instant replay of the footage. Kevin Kelly can help us run through. We got a little replay. Give us some analysis, Kevin Kelly. Give me the headset on what was said by Wes Kane in the previous lap.
Yeah, if you guys will just pay attention at home, and I'll try to put this up on Instagram and get this out to the world. And I'll quote, "He's battling like 2 gladiators in a square octagon." Those are 2 different shapes, ladies and gentlemen.
Square octagon.
But hey, I love it. Everybody's at home like, yeah, you're right, I believe you. You've got so much charisma and you believe what you're saying.
It, bro. Didn't even cross my mind that he's
it's a square octagon. And Miss, she's up here from the homeschool. Miss Lee's like, oh
like,
my God.
Sign him
He did
up.
not go through. I'm going to get off the mic
We've
here.
tried that for like 10 years. Please, Andrew Lee, help Wes Kane. Help the man. Okay, so Mitchell Falk in the lead, but now it's 2 Kawasaki's. How about the baseball player, the 37, Sean Cantrell?
Look out, here
a line drive to the front of the pack. He's in 3rd, closing the gap, but he's got Fortner right behind him. We knew that those guys in the back were going to make their way to the front. It's a 4-rider freight train all behind Mitchell Falk.
It's a quick game of hopscotch as they play hide-and-seek with the rest of the field. But it's Falk, Stack, Cantrell, Fortner, Sexton. There's Bailey creeping up there. Joey Crown in 7th. Carson Brown. There's Markoff. And then Gabriel Jarella trying to make some moves out there.
And it looks like Fortner on the 21 just snuck past Cantrell for 3rd. Fortner could win this one from way back. He's way on the outside.
It's going to come down to the white flag lap, and I think Fortner's going to have to show everybody what he's made of here. Hard charger right there. If you had that award, you definitely would have. Oh, Fortner bobbles a little bit, but here he comes now. Watch him now in front of the announced deck. 4 wide. This is a battle. I told you. It was fisticuffs erupting. Bologna, tomato sandwiches going everywhere out there.
Got a lot of food references out here, just reminding me that I skipped lunch because I had to host Intermission on this show. Thanks for rubbing it in, Wes.
I offered you some cheese and a sandwich, and
That's
there's
true.
some spaghetti over there.
Okay, all right. I'm feeling good. I'm going to carb load
Well, here
but,
we go. Watch
I
this.
need the energy, man. This moto's taking it out of me. I think Faulkner got back around Cantrell. They swapped it a couple times. He's still in third. You're going to see him in the back behind this 38 of Stack. And Stack is still trying to get that 62 KTM of Falk.
Not happening on this one. It's still going to be the 62 of Marshall Falk now. He leans into that inside rut. But look, you've got the 38 ride. He's got a hitchhiker. He's picked up some debris dangling from his boot. Could that be any kind of factor in slowing him or add to the demise of him not winning this moto? It could be Austin Faulkner, never said the less.
As always, some of these guys, little mistakes like that, they don't even realize that they happen. You talk to them when the moto's over, it doesn't even cross their mind. They're just so focused right now. Fox actually getting away from this little Tanner Stack, Austin Faulkner battle you're watching, the two Kawasaki riders for second place.
Well, here they come again. Watch them now as they head through the twisties. Out of the 10 Commandments now. Watch them out of Storyland and to the inside. You can watch them now, the 21 of Faulkner side by side. Stack goes to the outside. Faulkner now takes the line. You got to protect the inside. So it looks like now Faulkner's going to move in the second, setting himself up for a great position if he can't win this one to be in great position in moto number 2.
Man, yeah, that's right. He really salvaged something already. He's kind of a winner just by getting the second, considering how far back he was.
He's not done.
No, I think you're right. He wants to get Falk. Falk riding on the Red Bull KTM Orange Brigade back machine. Look at Falk. Oh, our leader's down.
Man down, man down. Down goes Falk. Down goes Falk.
Unbelievable. Had done such a great job dealing with the pressure at this point in the game. He had a little bit of a gap, and he makes an unforced error, and somehow Austin Faulkner has taken over the lead.
There it is. Bada boom, bada bing. They reset the crock pot. They put the lid on, but didn't put it on tight enough. It boiled over again, and then it was Marshall Falk.
We got it. Marshall Falk.
Marshall Falk
busting through.
There. How about Falk? That's right.
Greatest show on turf.
Mitchell.
And the crock pot keeps boiling over in that one corner. That's where Sexton crashed. That's where Falk crashed. We need clean up. Oh, and our leader! All by himself. Faulkner has gone down on that big straightaway, a huge swap.
Down goes Faulkner. Down goes Faulkner.
Man, you think when you come from 10th to 1st that you've got it once you're in the lead. This track has now claimed 3 riders. I can't even keep track. Who is even in the lead now? Is it Sexton?
Well, it looks like Sexton might come back. Stack and Sexton in there now. Depends how close they were. We're going to see them as they come through the stripe.
Sexton was down at one point in this moto. He was about 5th, and he's now in the lead.
I think Sexton is on point. Watch him now, Jason. Sexton back there in Storyland. You're going to see him. I mean, this is just the shuffling of the deck.
One of the best motos I've seen today, probably the best. Chase Sexton, man, I was counting him out after he threw it away. He was in the number 3 spot, was trying to make passes, went, and now he's got that Yamaha back by the Blue Crew, of course.
Donnie.
Absolutely.
Well, this Micah, no matter what, Micah. We haven't got to the third one yet, and that's always the charm.
Well, we got to be a junk man here now. All these guys who went down, Sexton
They're
did a great job recovering.
Everything.
Can Falk, he's in 5th. We got to figure out where Faulkner is after that crash. He's got to at least try to get in there, I'd say top 3 or 4 to have a shot at the overall.
But I'm looking at that guy right there, the 51 ride of Chase Sexton. He's along the road. He's into that 4-pack now. A little almost wash out there by the front end. Was that the white flag I saw? I saw the white flag, and it is the 51 ride of Sexton. Wow, what a story he's going to have to tell on a podium. Well, I didn't get a start, then I got out front, and I fell, and then somehow I inherited the lead one more time.
Stack is 2nd, Cantrell 3rd. Faulkner is now 4th. It's this section right here they're coming up on where Faulkner went down in the lead the previous lap. Just some of that acceleration chop right about here.
This class right here, you could call this the Christmas class because a lot of these riders have received some gifts all throughout this moto. I mean, they've had them taken away and given right back to them again.
Yeah, Sexton had the gift receipt, returned it, got his money back, and he's now in the lead again.
All through school, he was gifted, and there he is using his talents out there now.
So Sexton has a 3-second lead. It's finally settled down just a little bit after about 8 laps of furious battling. Those are lap riders, I believe, behind him.
Here's Sexton now working his way one more time around this Loretta Lynn's facility. It's a man-made battleground, and those riders did go to war out there, and the cream will rise to the top. But these are the battles right here. Who will be the last man standing and win the war?
Through the years, I mean, this is as deep as I've seen Super Mini in a long time. We're talking 7 riders who have some really solid support and real great talent. Maybe they'll stay at this level. Oh, no, and another mistake for Sexton.
What?
He makes a mistake. Now off the track is...
Who is that masked man?
That is... I'm trying to see. It's
Cantrell?
37. I think it's Cantrell. This is going to lead us with a battle down the wire.
Here we go. Sexton to the outside. Cantrell trying to block the line. Hop's giving it jumping now through the rhythm section. Look out, it's the 37. Here they come.
Checker flag's coming out.
Bring it home, Jason.
And it's going to be the 37 of Sean Cantrell. How did that happen? The final lap, Sexton made a mistake. Cantrell comes through.
You call
Stack
that
was in the mix.
A walk-on double by the ball player.
Yeah, absolutely. Hey, that's the one thing about baseball. Doesn't have a clock. Never give up till the game's over. He must have learned that well on the ball field. And look at the 51 of Sexton. He knows he gave it away. He had the lead in the last lap. Cross-rutted and ends up in second. It was hard to tell which Kawasaki rider was there. The number plate was totally covered on the front. It was Sean Cantrell in 37. Stack ends up a close third. Understandable, the frustration of the 51.
Get off me, he said.
Yeah.
Donnie Luce, get off me.
Yeah, he cross-rutted. Easy mistake. I'm sure he could have nailed that corner 100 consecutive laps without a problem. You never know down here, though, when you're doing it for the points and the money.
On the podium.
I would like to see that, actually. Take your frustrations out on the announcer, please. That would be awesome.
Not Rodley. He don't have much to give down there. Just sit back. Not Kevin out. No, I don't. Rodley's my guy. I don't need him banged up.
Forkner will finish 4th, and Falk will finish 5th. Each one of those riders also led at one point. We'll send it down to Kevin Kelly down there on the podium when he's ready.
Yeah, it is a beehive of activity, Jason Weigott, as you well know. Guys were happy, then they were sad, then they were happy again, then they were sad again. That was just a nutty little moto. We're waiting on our whole shot winner, number 62. He led this thing for a bit, and we'll bring up Mr. Falk in just a moment. And again, a lot of happy kids, a lot of dejected kids. Sean Cantrell went from 3rd to 1st on the last lap, so we'll try to have a word with Mr. Falk here. I know he's hot and sweaty and tired, but we got to get you up here, my man. All right, we're going to step around this side right here. I've got the number 62 KTM of Mitchell Falk. Bud, tell me about that whole shot. Tell me about leading this thing and then all the craziness that was out there. Make it quick. Go.
Yeah, I got a 21st gate pick, and I was actually pretty happy with that because previous years I've gotten in the 40s, and the only gate left was the inside or the outside, the very inside. So I picked the very inside and just got out of the jump or the gate really good, and just started giving her some throttle and got a whole shot.
You made it work for you. Who do you want to thank?
Yeah, to thank everyone, my mom and dad, and my brother Hunter, FMF, DC Skull Candy, Bell Helmet 7, just Nahilo, Dunlop, everyone, thank you.
Great work. Put your hands together. 3rd place finisher, or 4th place overall there. That's Mitchell Falk. He got the whole shot, got that $100 check. He's pumped on that. Now let's bring up our 3rd place finisher, Mr. Tanner Robert Stack. Come on up here, Tanner. Let me get your 3rd place medal. Here we go. Put that around your head, bud. We'll chat with Tanner. Wild and Woolly. Free spot.
My mom, my dad, Monster Energy, Spy, Thor, Alpine Star, my trainer Nario Izzy, Ethica, Dunlop, FMF, and who I forgot, thanks.
Are you up for the task to do that for 2 more motos? That was crazy.
Yeah.
There it is. He's all business. Tanner Stack will finish up 3rd, Monster Energy Team Green Kawasaki ride. 2nd place finisher. Come on up here, Chase Sexton. Let him hear it, folks. Chase battled his little heart out. Came up just a bit short. He didn't look too happy when he came over the finish line, but we got 2 more motos. Chase, that was a wild moto. Tell me about it.
Yeah, I got a decent start. I got past a lot of riders and was in 3rd and
crashed in the sand sweeper and just got behind Austin and we passed everybody back, and then a couple people went down and made mistakes, so I was in the lead on the last lap, and the lapper was in the inside rut, and I just made a little bobble, and Sean got by me, but he ran a great race, so it was good.
Awesome class act. Who would you like to thank for getting you up here in that number 2 spot?
I'd like to thank Yamaha, Rock River, Dunlop, MSR, Factory Connection, Never Summer Industries, Alpine Star, Bell, JMS, and everyone I forgot. Thanks.
Great work. Go take a break, cool off. My man Chase Sexton is going to finish up in the number 2 spot. Come on up here, you little curly-headed fella. Get on up here. Let's hear it for the number 37 Team Green ride of Sean Cantrell. You got to be in it to win it, folks, and that was a perfect example as to why you just keep coming and coming and coming. You just don't know what's going to come your way. Sean, tell me about that ride and describe that last couple laps. You go from 3 to 1.
That was definitely a weird race. I got a good jump off the gate, but I hit neutral or something, and it dropped me way back. So I had to work for the W. I was in 5th or 6th for a while. Just couldn't figure out the track, couldn't get around the guys. But I was fortunate enough to get through them, and unfortunately, most of them had a couple mistakes, and I got around them, and I'm just super just excited for this W.
You should be. Who would you like to thank for getting you up here?
My mom and dad, for sure. I wouldn't be up here without them. Monster Energy, Team Green, Kawasaki, Ryan Holiday, and all the boys over there, just doing their best, and Mitch Payton, Bones, everybody over at Pro Circuit, Sean Murphy, everybody over at Thor, Alpine Star, Team Dunlop, DVS, Pant Sagan Designs, Shoei, Asterix, Liette, and everybody, thank you so much.
Let him hear it one more time. Bike number 37, Top Step. Sean Cantrell pulls down the win. That is an ultra competitive class. We'll toss it back up to Jason Wygant and Wes Kane up in the square octagon. Take it away, boys.
All right, thanks a lot, Rodney Tomlin. 33rd running of this Rocky Mountain ATV MC Amateur National Motocross Championship at Loretta, Lynn's, presented by AMSOIL. As we said, Rodney Tomlin, Wes Kane, Jen Kenyon out and about, Kevin Kelly, also Jason Wygant. We're making things happen here at the Dude Ranch in 2014, and what's about to happen next is more great amateur racing, and we're talking about the 85cc 9 to 11-year-olds. This is race number 12 on the docket here today. And Wes Kane, we've got a number of great competitors in this one as well. You know, a lot of these kids have already made names for themselves, establishing as early as the 50cc ranks and 65cc's, and many of these riders are making that transition from 65 to the 85s as well, and this is a great transition class in this 85 9 to 11-year-old class. Riders include the number 14 to Zachary Poore out of Bedford, Massachusetts, the 15 of Cody Groves out of Maryland, and Grantley Herbert out of Maryland as well aboard the 16. The 18, Gage Stein, he's out of Woodsboro, Maryland. We got the 20 of Cole Hankins out of Lansing, Michigan. 21, Luke Kalatazian out of Sun Valley, California. The 23 of Styles Robertson out of Bakersfield, California. 26, Caden Payne from Marietta, California. 27, Jake Trico. He's out of Collingwood, Ontario, Canada. Katie Benson, the number 28 from Delmar, Delaware. 29, Russ Chapman out of Concord, North Carolina. The 30, Riley Allen out of Kennedale, Texas. 31, Chase Yenser, one of those riders working his way up through the ranks, like we said there on that number 31 machine.
Williams out there at 32, Andrew Williams from Danville, Virginia. 34 of Travis Honnett from Cato Mills, Texas. 35, you got Patrick Murphy out there. 37 of Michael LaCour. The 30 out there, as well as the 46 of Gage Godness, the 47 of Joe Shimoda, the 50 of Manuel Marino, 51 Jace Kessler, 52 Ethan Mann, the 53 of Lane Allison, the 54 Tommy Lee Clare, 55 Caden Metz, 56 of Stephen Hooker, 60 of Hunter Layton.
Well, the 63, Pierce Brown, grabbing the Bell Helmets Whole Shot Award. He's got the 31 right behind him right now, Chase Yenser. Other riders include the 66 of Blake Fisher out of Imperial, Pennsylvania, 71, Griffin Maxwell from Jamestown, Ohio, 74, Dylan Swartz from Alpine, California, the 76, Trevor Maley from North Canton, Ohio, 77, Jackson Gray from Forsyth, Georgia, 78, Clay Quick out of Burleson, Texas, 79, Landon Rapp from Bell River, Illinois, 91, Orion Gregory from Stevens City, Virginia, the 92, Trevor Spencer out of Spring, Texas, 94, Kimball Jett out of Norwood, Louisiana, and the 99 of Colton Gorby out of Chalarie, Pennsylvania. That is your field of 42 in the 85 9-11. Once again, early lead, the 63 KTM Pierce Brown out of Sandy, Utah. He's backed by West Coast Chill, KTM, Orange Brigade, Thor, Dunlop, FMF, Scott, Rad Wheels, Vertec Pistons, DT1, Air Filters, and ODI Grips, just to name a few. Again, back in the number 2 spot was the 31 of Chase Yenser out of Carlisle, Pennsylvania, the Factory Cobra Fox Dunlop 100% PR2 Pro Taper 6D Cernix Racing back ride. Right now, Brown continues to hold down the point as we near the first lap of racing complete here. And I'll tell you what, this right here, again, kind of just early setting of the stage of what is about to unfold. We saw a great race in that Super Mini battle just a few moments ago, and we kind of can expect maybe to see a lot of the same situations arising here as we're starting to see that now. Brown a little bit of a lead out there, it looks like, as Ethan Mann now moves into the number 2 spot. Styles Robertson up to the number 3 spot as we've seen some changes already taking place. Russ Chapman in the 4th spot. Jace Kessler is 5th. There is the 31 of Chase Yenser, who was right there in contention behind Brown in the early part of this first lap of racing. Joe Shimoda running in the number 7 spot. Gage 7 and 9. Jackson Gray rounding out the top 10. Top 20 after that first lap. 11th was Dylan Swartz. Blake Fisher 12th. Justin Coquinos in 13th. Caden Payne 14th. Manuel Marino in 15th. Griffin Maxwell 16th. Andrew Williams in 17th. Garrett Russell 18th. Cole Harkins 19th. And Luke Kalajian in the number 20 spot. That one right there, I'm sure we kind of butchered there a little bit, but what we're not butchering is what we're seeing on the screen right now, Wes Kane, and that is a great battle shaping up for that number 2 spot as Ethan the Man and Styles Robertson go at it for the number 2 spot right now. They were about 3 seconds behind Brown, who was your point leader out there, but wow, right here's where the race is, it seems like.
Well, I've seen Styles Robinson. He took a moto win this morning, so he's got to be pumped up. Pierce Brown, downtown. He's the real deal, the 63 ride from Utah, Pierce Brown. This guy's been winning titles all out west, so he brings his skills down here to Loretta's. He is a force to be reckoned with. That's going to be the 63 of Pierce Brown. There's Ethan Mann. He came back. He was racing overseas.
Here comes Mann now. He's on the inside down there by the Rocky Mountain ATVMC.com sweep return. That washboard sandy area there, and there goes Robertson now to the number 2 spot as Mann leaves the door open. You talk about threading needles and taking advantage of a situation, man. He went right on in and took the dive and took the spot.
Well, here he comes now. It's going to be Styles Robinson styling and profiling now as he went right up in there. Threw the elbow up, jumped right up in there. Now he's in second. 63 of Pierce Brown out front. So it's going to be Brown, Mann, Robinson. Robinson now shuffling the deck. And moving into second, Chapman, Kessler, Yenser. Shippensburg, Pennsylvania.
Right.
Shimoda, Stein, Turcoy, Gray, and Swartz all out there doing a great job. There's Justin Coquinas back there, the 44 machine, just out of the top 10.
He's 13th place. We'll keep an eye on the 44 machine as we're wrapping up lap 2. The new rundown. Brown now with a 4.9, let's call it 5-second lead over Robertson. 2:09.049 lap time. Robertson turned to 2:10, battling with Mann there for the number 2 position. We'll see if that changes and picks up any in the pace as far as these next laps coming up are concerned. But Mann back in the number 3 spot. He turned to 2:12.123. Jace Kessler, the 51, at 2:16. There's 9 seconds back to that spot, another couple seconds back to Russ Chapman. Chapman was, I'm talking like less than a half second behind Kessler there at one point, but now he finds himself solid in 5th. And now it looks like Chase Yenser is starting to try to work back up. I think he would drop him off to 8th. He's back up to 6th now. 2:19 lap time, a whole 10 seconds slower than the leaders. Man, you talk about a big difference in lap times through the field of these riders. It's pretty intense, but you got to take into account, You know, some of these riders are just getting adapted, like we said, to the 85s themselves. 9, 10, and 11-year-old class riders, and sometimes you get kids that excel in growth a little quicker than others do and a little stronger, so it takes them a little longer to get their 85cc race leg, so to speak. So that might be why we see a little bit of that, but at the same time, the track, it's very tricky, it's very demanding out there. It might be another factor in why we see those different lap times, but I expect them to start to tighten up as this race wears on. These riders all seem to be even out the playing field a little bit.
Well, here's your leader right there. We're watching him now, the 23 ride. In second, that's going to be Styles Robinson. The 63 of Pierce Brown. We're going to get a GPS radar lock on him and find where he's at. But right now, we're looking at the 23 ride of Styles Robinson. Robinson now coming along that 4-pack, right along the road. He's going to be right under the announce deck.
Wow, Pierce Brown, a 2:08.108 that last time around on lap 3. A 2:08.559 for Styles Robertson.
Not
Blistering
much.
fast lap time, but 0.4 of a second slower. The gap now 5.3 seconds between first and second, but still early in this moto right now as Mann runs consistently right around that 2:10 mark. He's now 3.8 seconds behind Robertson. Get this, though, Kessler 15 seconds back in the number 4 ride. Russ Chapman back in the number 5 ride. So these front three, we've established them, it looks like, Wes. And at this point, I got to say it's going to take miscues on the part of any one of these three in order for us to see much of a change. Just simply looking at the lap times, leaders in first and second, the 2:08 range. Third is in the 2:10. Then everyone else is 2:17 or more throughout the rest of the field. So a big diversity in the lap times, like we said, but that just goes to show you the cream can rise to the top, and the guys that work so hard often prevail out there. As we check back a little further in the pack, we got some battling going on. There's Russ Chapman. Chapman riding the number 29 machine. That 29 machine is out of Concord, North Carolina, riding the Mark IV Honda back Kawasaki. He's also backed by Fathead Racing, Maxima Oil, Factory Connection, Twin Air, and 100%. And making his way by, it looks like Joe Shimoda actually putting the pressure on him right now. Pressure is coming from 6th place ride. I thought we would see him putting pressure on Kessler, but it's actually Chapman feeling pressure from Shimoda, and Shimoda's on the outside, now inside as he's switching up from one side of the racetrack to the other now, and the battle is on for a top 5 ride here in the 85 9 to 11-year-old class. Our 12th race on the race docket if you're following along at home in your programs, and out there on that big washboard section, man, moguls are developing all through that area. And again, it seems like the lines change from lap to lap. So I don't think there's a consistent line that a rider can hit through that section of the race course, at least at this moment, that is going to either gain them lots of ground or lose him lots of ground. Either one, it's just a matter of luck of the draw, where you happen to be when you hit that one, and what happened just with the riders ahead of you, I imagine.
Well, here they come now through that sweeper turn. I'm watching the 47 ride. That's going to be Joe Shimoda. So we got eyes on Shimoda now going at it with the 29 of Russ Chapman.
He solidified that pass. It looks like he's starting to stretch it out a little bit now over Russ Chapman. A 1.5 second gap is where they were at whenever they finished up lap number 3, with Shimoda now at the end of lap number 4 into the number 5 spot. He turned a 2:17.134. That gap from 1.5 seconds deficit now turns into 1.2 seconds to the positive for Shimoda, as Chapman now 1.2 seconds back in 6th. Chase Yenser running in the number 7 spot, another 5 seconds back. Justin Coquinos, here's one to watch right here. We got another battle shaping up, the 44 machine. Remember, he was down, 14th place, I believe, at the end of that first lap. That rider now is up to an 8th place position, a 1.5 seconds behind Chase Yenser, the 31, pulling a full 3+ seconds faster lap time than Yenser. So, in theory, we should be seeing a great battle now shaping up between the 31 and 44 for 7th place.
There's the 51 ride. We're getting a look at that competitor over there, the 51.
Jace Kessler.
That's right. Kessler now looking pretty good as he heads out of the 10 Commandments into the back of Storyland. And you know about Storyland, what goes on back there, the family that's been there like forever.
Yeah, that's the family, and that's what we like to talk about. It's so much more. It's so fitting that a family named Story would actually be back there flagging, and we would call this place Storyland, and that's where so many stories are told. That's where so many championships have been won and lost back there. So many big passes taking place. It's just an amazing area of racetrack, and it's all probably in a matter of about 250 yards long if you were to lay it out straight. Storyland is a very storied place, and like you say, that family, I think there's like 4 different generations of stories actually flagging over there right now.
Wow, that's quite a story.
To say the least.
I'm telling you, but watch this guy right here.
Coquinos.
Yep, Coquinos out of that New England area over there.
He made the pass on Yenser. He did get him there, it looks like. So the 41 or the 44 machine getting around the 31 machine. And now we start to see things even more solid as these top 10 riders now making their way by the finish line for lap 5 complete. Brown, Robertson, Mann. 8.5 seconds now between Pierce Brown and Styles Robertson. Brown still in the 2:08 range. He was in the 2:07. Actually, a 2:07.316 is what posted the fastest lap. He has been running consistently right there in that 2:07, 2:08 range nearly every lap. Robertson was down in the 2:08 range for a bit. Now he's at the 2:10 mark with Ethan Mann now running 2:15 lap times. Looks like he has settled into his place. He's like, okay, I see where I'm at today. I'm going to take third. Not going to push the envelope too much. Just not going to let anybody push me at the moment. There comes the 31 we're watching on screen now from behind the billboard around the Yamaha mechanics area is Chase Yenser. He's now 3.2 seconds behind Justin Coquinos. Big change from just a lap ago. Dylan Swartz 4 seconds back behind him aboard the number 74. But here's another thing to watch out for. Swartz turning a 2:16 lap time in amongst 2:20. Another rider to watch out for is back in 13th, Cody Groves, number 15, turning 2:18 lap times in amongst 2:47s and 2:20. Nine to 11-year-old riders. There's your leader, the 63 of Pierce Brown.
Pierce Brown now carving his way through traffic as he sees the cross flags out, Rodney. Still got plenty of laps to go in this one, so there is room for Mann, Robinson, Kessler, all those guys, Coquinos, to make some more moves out there. But right now, it's all about the 63 ride of downtown Pierce Brown. Red Bull.
Good battling going on as Brown trying to slice and dice through some of that traffic there. Trying to make things happen as he's getting around the lapped riders as we speak. And as we speak, riders checking in with 6 laps. Brown now with a 5.8 second lead. Ooh, Brown actually with that lap traffic that he's trying to work through right now slowed his lap time down to a 2:12.079. Robertson kept a 2:09. That's the biggest, the first time we've seen Robertson back down around the 5-second range. And Jason Wygant, I tell you, continues to be slowed down by that lap traffic. We might be a little closer to seeing another one of those exciting last lap battles that we saw in that Super Mini class just a few moments ago.
Yeah, we did the pit stop here. They switched out announcers. Got a fresh set of announcers in here. Jason Wygant taking the place of Wes Kane. Wes Kane had to be put down. Sorry. Try to revive him. Try to bring him back. All right, he's been revived. He's got some wings. He'll be back. He'll be back. 63, Pierce Brown in the lead. As you mentioned, Roddy, Styles Robertson coming through in a second. I believe Robertson actually raced a little bit earlier today. So probably experimenting with the track, seeing how much it's changed.
Wow. Every
You're
time
marveling at something.
I am. Those lines, those ruts through those turns, I'm just amazed at how defined they are. I mean, it's basically you stick a wheel in it, twist the throttle, and you've pretty much got that turn railed, I think, at that point. Lay over and let the machine do all the work as the 63 of Pierce Brown doing the work right now as we wrap up lap number 7. Last time around, he turned a 2:12. Remember, he was consistently in the 2:07, 2:08 range. He's back down in the 2:10.5 range as we wait for Styles Robertson to make his way by for second spot. Now he got caught in that same trail of riders that Brown got caught on before the lap before. He slows his time down to a 2:12, so back to a 7.7 second gap. Brown's got this one, at least for the moment, still in the bag as Ethan Mann dropping back at the end of lap 6, some 17 seconds behind Robertson in the number 3 spot, and he's still comfortable back there in third. 21.5 seconds back. He turned a 2:16 lap time that time around, but remember, he had a 25 almost second lead over the 4th place rider. Let's just go ahead and let's settle with what we got instead of really pushing the envelope and making things happen. Let's just do what we're doing, especially if you're in the top 1, 2, or 3 spot. Oh man, look at the smoke! I'm looking out on the track right now from out of the Under Armour.
Get it dialed, Ronnie. Come on.
The Under Armour studios, and I'm watching this machine just smoke out there. So, and we can see it on the screen right there. That haziness is from one of those machines out there that is in the process of a blow up.
Wow, right now. Yeah. Now that's running very rich. A little bit too much oil. Maybe want to work on the jetting there.
Caden Metz all the way from Millville, California on a Supercross.com power curve backed machine.
Running the 1-to-1 oil to gas ratio, and rolling coal out there. 60. Pierce Brown. This is impressive, man. Obviously, we know the credentials of so many other riders in this class, like Robertson and Mann, but Brown not even challenged at this moment.
Yeah, and I've seen Brown really making some marks over the course of the last few years, but I got to say that I'm as surprised as probably some other folks may be at just how exactly strong and consistent Brown has been. Maybe not strong and consistent, but just how quickly he jumped out to the front and how quickly he checked out. Not to saying that Brown had anything that wouldn't have indicated that he was capable of doing something like this. We just got to look at the competition that he's always riding amongst and knowing that his speed, this is really telling the tale of how hard this kid has worked this summer. And that's one thing that they could take from last year. They say that training starts the day after Loretta Lynn stops the year before, and it looks like he has been training some 360 days or so getting ready for this particular event. And that's exactly, and it's all paying off, man. It's all worked out for him.
Hey, I want to mention to the folks, during intermission, we were talking to Emil, the owner of Three Palms, and he mentioned the $100 Fast Lap Awards. We have our classes marked off. It will be in our two-stroke BC class today. Fastest lap time in that two-stroke BC class is going to get a $100 Visa card from the folks at Three Palms. That's, of course, the racetrack out in Texas. Also today, Mini Senior 1, which will be race 15. And race 17, girls 12 to 16. $100 Visa cards will be given out to the fastest lap times in those 3 classes today. Two-stroke BC, Mini Senior 1, and girls Senior 12 to 16. So big thanks to the folks at Three Palms. Handing some money over to the riders in the form of a Visa gift card, but you got to go fast to get it. And that'll be interesting to watch because we often do see fast laps turned in by a rider who does not win the moto. I mean, that Super Mini race we just had is a perfect example. It was all over the map as far as the lap times and who was leading, who had falls. Here we're looking at the best lap time at the moment. I don't think it's a surprise. Pierce Brown, big lead, also has fastest lap of the moto, a little over a 1 second gap on Styles Robertson as far as fastest lap. On the racetrack, about an 8-second lead for the number 63. Hey, race fans, you can register to win an Eric Buell Racing, that's EBR, 1190 RX motorcycle, valued at nearly $20,000. Visit the Amsoil booth today. White flag, by the way, is out for Brown. Visit the Amsoil booth today if you're here at the ranch, or go to amsoilracing.com if you're on the internet and register to win that Eric Buell Racing 1190 motorcycle. That's pretty impressive. Got to remember, since 1972, when Amsoil introduced, we got a rider off the track.
Ooh, that's the 31 of Chase Yenser, who was running, a solid top 10 there in the early part of the race. Now he is just slowly dropping through the field, so that's going to take him out of the hunt and running for the championship.
And he has to deal with Megawatt. Bike off, he's got to deal with him. That's insult to injury. Just kidding, Megawatt. As I was saying, AMSOIL actually introduced the world's first synthetic motor oil that met API service requirements, and they've been the leader in synthetic lubricant technology ever since. AMSOIL offers a full line of synthetic lubricants for your bike, car, motorcycle, truck, ATV, and everything else that runs on an engine. AMSOIL, for any engine, go to AMSOIL.com.
25,000-mile oil changes too there, Jason White.
Yeah, you say go a whole year, right?
Yeah, I did that myself.
Did you?
Yeah, I had an oil burner, if you would. My machine was using a lot of oil, and I started using the AMSOIL product, and believe it or not, it conditioned my seals and everything to where things started tightening up. I still use a little bit, but probably a third of what I used to use before I started using the AMSOIL, and it gets better all the time. So I'm a firm believer in AMSOIL. It'll save you money in the long run, a lot of money, man.
Tighten up your seals and everything, but how's the car running?
Oh, like a champ, man. The car runs great. It's running so well, it's breaking the other parts on the car is what's happening.
It's outlasted the other ones.
The motor's going great. The rest of the thing's falling apart.
Brown, I think, has this one. He's got about 3 turns to go, and he's going to put in a dominant performance. Now, Robertson making a run here late. Chopped the gap from what was 9 seconds down to about 4.5. That was a bad lap for Brown. Do some lap traffic. You can see Robertson and the Kawasaki machine back there in some of the longer shots, but the problem for him is this moto is over. 63, Pierce Brown is going to take the victory here in the mini cycle 85 9-11 class.
Well, Styles Robertson tried a last lap push, 2-lap push.
Close.
2.5 seconds at the checkers. It was 12 seconds, I think, there at one point, or at least closer to 10, and now down to 2.5. So you can see Brown laxed a little bit. Robertson, he tried to pick it back up, but there it is. We see it, Pierce Brown, Styles Robertson going 1 and 2, and oh, man, see, that's how rough the track is. It'll kick you right out there into the swamplands if you aren't careful. And if you are careful, you might make your way up to the podium and get a hug from one of the KTM girls down there.
That's why I hosted opening ceremonies last night, just to get a hug from Christy LaCurl there of the Orange Brigade. KTM, they are obviously a happy group with Pierce Brown putting that Orange Brigade machine up on the podium. They'll be a little bit less happy when they have to talk to Kevin Kelly down there. Just what you got to deal with. There he is. Styles Robertson, good run there in second. That'll set the stage for could be a good second moto.
So Ethan Mann does hold on to this one for third place. Get this, 43 seconds back to the number 3 spot. Yeah, that was a pretty big gap. But regardless, I saw Ethan Mann, what happened. Mann figured out what was going on right off the bat. Those guys were just riding the ragged edge. He says, hey, you know, a third place is pretty doggone good in this first moto. I have nobody back behind me. I'm going to conserve some energy. And, you know, if he's got another moto later today, that's going to pay huge dividends. And obviously, anytime that you can conserve energy, that should be able to pay huge dividends a little later down the road anyway.
Jace Kessler and Joe Shimoda will round out the top 5. We'll get the podium all set up with Mr. Kevin Kelly down there. Kevin, take it away when you have your chance.
Yes, sir. I'm waiting on my third place finisher, Mr. Ethan Mann, kind of sorting some stuff out. Ethan Mann, if you were down there, grab a slug of water, knock the boogers out of your nose, and come see me up here on the podium. I am a consummate professional, and I am waiting for Mr. Ethan Mann. Another great moto. Awesome to see Pierce Brown kind of rebound from his... Yes, folks, put your hands together for our third place finisher, Mr. Ethan Mann. Little blonde-headed fella here. Come on over here to the center here, Ethan. Tell me about your ride. How'd it go for you?
Oh, it was good. I just got a solid start and just tried to ride my race. We got 3 motos. Anything can happen.
Hey, that's a great approach, man. Slow and steady wins the race. Who do you want to thank, Ethan?
My mom and dad, Fox, BTO, EBR, Shannon and I at AMX Schools, Scott, FMF, Renthal, Liquid Performance, and everybody else. Thank you.
Great work, folks. He's going to be your third place finisher, Mr. Ethan Mann. Nice work. Got his medal there. He is good to go. Come on up here, my second place finisher. Let's see Mr. Styles Robertson. The world's most unhappy second place finisher right here. This kid likes to win. I don't blame you, dude. The wife's going to be mad, not happy back there at the RV. Styles, tell me about that ride and make it fun and don't be so mad. Go.
I got off to a good start. Not what I wanted, but just tried to push, and the lappers are really bad. I don't know.
All right, man. We're going to remount. It's not the end of the world. You still got 4 more motos. Going to play a little Xbox, maybe hit the creek later on. No, he's going to go train. You're going practicing somewhere, aren't you?
Yeah.
I know. All right, there's that smile, buddy. Who do you want to thank?
My mom and dad, my grandma, my grandpa, my sister, the whole Monster Energy Kawasaki team, Ryan Holiday, Chappie, just everybody. Dunlop, One Industries, Alpine Star, Oakley, Dunlop, Rob Fox, and everybody over there, Cernic, and just everybody else. Thank you guys so much.
Good job, buddy. Turn that frown upside down. Styles Robertson's going to finish up second. Now we're going to bring up our Whole Shot Award winner, and guess what? He's also the Moto winner. Come on up here, Mr. Pierce Brown. What has Brown done for you? He is delivering championships. It's just too easy with your name. I got to run with that. Here, come on to this side right here. Put that around your neck, my man. And out of Utah, they're jumping in the streets. They are pumped. I've checked online. CNN, they're going crazy back home. They are excited for you. Hold that up there. Let everybody see that big check there. Little guy, big check. And Pierce Brown, tell me about that moto. How'd you work it out, buddy? Starting with a whole shot.
Yeah, I got the whole shot. That made it really easy on me. It was a pretty good race. I got the whole shot, then just went from there. Rode my own race after that.
Able to recover after this morning? You had a good moto going, huh?
Yeah, I had a good moto. I had some bad luck.
Well, that's what this place will do, man. It'll reach up and grab you every now and again, so nothing is safe here, huh?
Yeah.
Who would you like to thank?
Yeah, I'd like to thank West Coast Chill, Thor Parts Unlimited, KTM Orange Brigade, Dunlop, Scott, Quick Roofing, KTM, FMF, Scott, Nihilo, everybody else, thanks so much.
Big smiles. The number 63 machine is your winner, folks. We'll toss it back up to the tower where Rodney is in the house running the show. Take it away, boys.
Thanks a lot there, Kevin Kelly, as we wrap up the 85 9-11 race 12. We keep rolling, and we were talking about
just doing some bench racing up here on that podium.
Talking about two-stroke BC 16 plus class coming up next. Race number 13. This one is what we were kind of alluding to there earlier about what it used to sound like every time a gate dropped here at Loretta Lynn's. 42 of the best two-stroke BC 16 plus class riders getting ready to go racing here in just a few moments. Jason Wygant. We're talking about relative who's as far as the names goes. A lot of these guys we'll see in some, on some of the four-stroke bikes as well as these two-stroke bikes also. But guys like the number 9 out of Oologah, Oklahoma. We're talking about Addison Emery. The 11 of Dalton, Georgia's Levi Smith. The number 12 out of Corinth, Mississippi, Logan Parks. The 16 from West Harrison, Indiana, Blake Gadzinski. The number 18 out of Pioneer, Tennessee is Brandon Carson. Number 23 from Oakland, Maryland, Gavin Murphy. The 25 from Reno, Nevada, Daniel Mills. Number 26 out of Martin, Tennessee will be Logan Pollard. The 27 out of Lodi, Ohio, Mario Testa. The number 28 machine from San Anselmo, California, we're talking about Patrick Longo. Number 29 is Travis Dameron out of Lake Havasu, Arizona. The number 33, Timothy Patterson out of Ravenna, Michigan. The 34, Joey Hale from Carlton, Michigan. The number 36 out of Woodlawn, Tennessee is Blake Taylor. Number 37 from Edgerton, Kansas will be Josh Miller. The number 38 from Albuquerque, New Mexico, Casey Brenham. The number 41 from Port Franks, Ontario, Canada, Duncan McLeod. The 42 from Murrieta, California, Gordon Keller. The 43 from 1000 Oaks, California will be Kirk Raleigh. The 44 from Oceanside, California, Chase Falong. The 46 out of Missouri City, Texas, Will Stockland. 47 from Decano, Colorado, Cody Gray. The 48, Bennett Mantooth from Danville, Virginia. Number 50 out of Topeka, Kansas, Neil Toshman. The number 54 from Hebron, Connecticut, Josh Pryor. The number 56 out of Waxahachie, Texas, Bryce Reed. Two strokes BC 16 plus. Number 61, Kyle Dawson out of Ruther Glen, Virginia. Number 66, Hamilton, Michigan's Ryan Tolsma. Number 67 from Lebanon, Tennessee, Harrison West. Number 69 from Jonesboro, Tennessee, Alex Dorton. Number 70 from Lake Michigan is the number 70, Timmy Bedore. The number 72, Thurmont, Maryland's Corey Gilliam. The number 73 from Haymarket, Virginia, Jacob Bellotti. The number 74 from Iowa City, Iowa, Sam Tinky. 76 from Leicester, North Carolina, Caleb Carter. Number 78 is Drake Dunlap from Louisville, Texas. Number 83, Carlin Gardner from Paso Robles, California. The number 89, Blaze Best from Orano, Minnesota. The number 91, Evans George's Zach Beverly. Number 94, Kevin Barbosa from Fountain Valley, California. Number 96, Colby Pyburn from Chattanooga, Tennessee. And the 98, rounding out the field of 42 entries from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, will be Trenton Harrington. And that is your field of 42 riders. And, you know, I was making note going down through this field, there seems to be a lot of riders from the Midwest and the western part of the United States. There are a handful that, you know, are east of the Mississippi, but I think that we're weighted more on the West Coast side of that before obviously, you know, just looking at it, it's kind of strange. We'll talk about that in just a moment. Let's go ahead and take a quick break and be back with race number 13, the two-stroke BC, when we return with the Rocky Mountain ATVMC.com Amateur National Finals.
Sometimes you come across something so different, you just have to stop and check it out. The Rocky Mountain ATVMC website has everything you need, from our huge selection of apparel and gear to dirt bike accessories and OEM parts. Our extensive inventory means most orders arrive in 3 days or less. Get low prices, quick shipping, and incredible customer service. RockyMountainATVMC.com.
And those who ride.
And once you have it, it doesn't leave your body ever.
At the track. Or on the trail. Any engine.
And welcome back to Loretta Lynn Dude Ranch here in Hurricane Mills, Tennessee for the 33rd running of the Rocky Mountain ATVMC Amateur National Motocross Championships at Loretta Lynn's, presented by AMSOIL. Rodney Tomlin along with Jason Wygant, also joined by Wes Kane, Kevin Kelly, and Jen Kenyon as we bring you monumental coverage this year. 32-plus hours of live broadcast television right here over the World Wide Web at racertv.com, and we're glad to have you folks all a part of this as a two-stroke BC 16-plus class. This is kind of a history, if you will, in this particular class, just simply because this is what it used to sound like. This is what it used to be like whenever racing action took place here at Loretta Lynn's. Then, of course, the four strokes came along, and, you know, so long folks say, I miss the sound of the two strokes. I miss the smell of the two-stroke fuel and oil. And, well, we give you that little taste of it now as the gate goes down here at Loretta Lynn's. And Loretta Lynn's live here on racertv.com with the Bell Helmets Whole Shot Award.
Wow, that's one way to get a whole shot. Just miss the entire second turn, and he gets right back on the track. The number 34 of Joey Hale in second. I don't know if that's going to work.
I don't think so.
AMA officials are surely watching that one.
Timmy Bador will get credit for the whole shot, the number 70 KTM rider. Bador out of Lake Michigan.
Well, okay, that's perfect. I'm glad you mentioned the town. When you were running through the names in this moto, okay, he's from Lake Michigan. The state is Michigan.
Yep.
I wonder where Lake Michigan is in relation.
Listening, I was going through the same thing in my mind, but Lake Michigan on the Tech Care suspension track. Frank and Valerie man-backed machine as well.
Neil Tachman is number 50. He is battling with the 34, who you saw go off the track and then back on, Joey Hale. I know that the AMA folks down there will be watching that closely. In that Super Mini battle that we had 2 motos ago, you remember Shaw Cantrell was actually off the track at one point when he was able to take the lead when Chase Sexton bobbled, and the AMA folks said they will have to review the footage on that. So
Well,
the
here's
number one goal of this race, of course, is to be fair for everybody, so they'll probably take a look.
Yeah, and that one should be rightfully looked at. The idea there is to safely re-enter the racetrack without gaining an advantage, and I would almost have to think that a second place would be an advantage.
Right, you'd have to see where he was, I guess, entering that first turn or leaving the first turn.
And you got to take into account he was on the outside almost of that turn, so he would have been a lot further back or a little further back. It'll be hard to tell. I don't know. I'm not an AMA official, thank God.
Yeah, there's many reasons for that, Rodney. We would never trust your judgment.
Timmy Bador, Joey Hale, Kirk Raleigh, Casey Brennan, your top 4. Neil Toshman in the number 5 spot. It's the 16, Blake Gadzinski in 6th. Blaze Best, the number 89, is 7th. Gordon Keller, the 42, in 8th. Josh Pryor, the number 54, in 9th. Bennett Mantooth, after the first lap of racing, is your 10th place ride. Addison Emery, the 9th. The number 9 in 11th and 12th is Duncan McLeod. He's the 41. The 13th place, the 25 of Daniel Mills. 14th, the 12th of Logan Parks. Cody Gray, the 47, is Carlin Gardner is in the 18th. Logan Pollard, 19th. Kyle Dawson rounds out the top 20 at the end of lap number 1. And we roll here through lap number 2, and the battle intensifies here. Bador having a little bit of a lead there at the beginning, but it's the battle for 2nd, 3rd, 4th, and 5th, I think, that's really starting to intensify here as we check in with the 38 of Casey Brennan. Brennan around now the 34 of Joey Hale, who was the early second-place position holder, so it looks like that already we've seen a little bit of a change taking place there. And Kirk Raleigh will be wondering what is going to be taking place there. So there's your 38 machine, Casey Brennan. He gets around Raleigh for 3rd. He gets around Hale now, I believe, into the number 2 spot. There is Raleigh right behind Hale now. He is working on Hale for that number 3 position. This right here might actually take care of itself in the wash, Jason, as this race wears on here now. So Joey Hale trying to hold, and he does, but Raleigh going to make the pass stick now. So Joey Hale drops to 4th. So it's Bador, Raleigh, and Brennan now. Actually, Brennan, then Raleigh, I believe.
Well, not for long. I think you were just a soothsayer there. You just knew it was coming. Brennan has now passed. Good job calling it 2 corners in advance.
Hey, man, that's one of the reasons I can't be an AMA official. I get confused with the future and what just took place.
Rodney has many visions. There's no doubt about that. Look at Brennan. He's now also gone past Raleigh and has moved to 2nd. So in about 2 corners, he's gone from 4th to the number 2 spot. Let's see if he can catch Bador, who's in the lead. Wow. Bar the door, Bador. Here comes Casey Brennan.
Wow, so Bador, Brennan, Raleigh, Mantooth, Hale back to 5th, Toshman up to 6th, Blaze Best 7th, Gladzinski is 8th, Addison Emery in 9th, Josh Pryor rounds out your top 10, and on the rail right now is Raleigh. I think you're right, man. Bador had about a 6-second lead, but let's take a look at what lap times are looking like for that number 43 machine. He turned a 2:10 in all that traffic, but still was able to muster his way into position there, so pretty impressive stuff if you ask me. So we might see something a little faster here on lap number 3 now.
All right, so here's the question. Can Bador bar the door enough to hold off Brennan? It's not Katie bar the door, it's Casey bar the door, because Casey Brennan is coming after Bador. And what a charge by this Yamaha rider. Now we're watching Bennett Mantooth on the 48. He is also on a roll from the back.
Mantooth turning the fastest lap time there on lap 2, a 2:05.634, more than a half second faster than Timmy Bador. And this is one of those classes, Jason, you were talking about that has that $100 bonus for the fastest lap from Three Palms Fast Lap.
Yeah, so well done for Bennett Mantooth. Right now would be picking up $100 from Visa if he holds on with the fastest lap of this moto.
Man, if he can continue to run like this is going to get exciting as far as watching this one tighten up as he and Raleigh and Brennan are going to be going at it with Bador, especially if they catch on to Mantooth and can run that speed. This is going to get exciting. But again, Bador up front, he doesn't have to push really push the envelope at the moment, so he might have a little more in the tank than what we even realize right now.
Well, the question would be, what if Mantooth is able to sink his teeth into that battle for 3rd? I mean, that would really be the question. Yeah, I mean, it's not baby teeth anymore. That's actually the difference. That's why he's in this 16-plus class.
There you
he's
go.
Now Mantooth. No longer in the 50cc class. He was actually Bennett Baby Tooth.
Baby Tooth.
But they're all gone now.
Now he's got all of his men teeth, right?
So he's up in the podium spot right now. Raleigh has dropped back a few spots. He's back to 4th. Neil Chachman is in 5th. Addison Emery 6th. Joey Hale, Blaze Best. Carlin Gardner and Daniel Mills top 10.
Look at this. Mantooth, he's already put 7 seconds over Kirk Raleigh, who's now in 4th place on board the number 43 back there. He turned a 2:13 that time, so we're starting to see the cream again rise to the top out here. Addison Emery's another rider we're watching move up right now. He's up to 6th now aboard the number 9. Turning 2:09. He got by a couple of riders there on that last lap, and he's working on Neil Toshman for the number 5 position right now as we speak. And there's the battle that we were looking for exactly, as he is not only around Toshman, he's now working on Raleigh for the number 4 spot, it looks like. And he makes the pass and takes over the number 4 position. Addison Emery working his way up through the pack.
Well, we mentioned it with some younger classes earlier today. When you come in here with a single-digit number at Loretta's, it means something. That means you're a top 10 last year. Emery essentially finished 9th in this class last year. And in the younger classes like this, a lot of riders move up. They'll maybe become A riders the next year. It's a BC class. So if you're able to stay in the B division 2 years in a row, already a top 10 rider, you're probably going to be older and faster the next time around. You are already known as a top gunner. And that's what Emery is right now.
He's the heir apparent, so to speak, being the top finisher from last year with the only single digit on the racetrack out there, the number 9 machine. And he is making work while he can. Again, those starts in this first moto are so unpredictable with the gate choices and everything. And even we've seen it happen with a 41st gate pick rider getting out to the lead. So maybe that doesn't play as much weight as what we are saying, but I think it plays a little more than what people may realize sometimes.
Yeah, there's some motos have completely thrown us off with R.J. Hampshire earlier today getting the 41st gate pick, yet still getting a good start and taking the lead. Emery trying to make moves. He's got Kalen Gardner right behind him.
Wow.
Emery on the 9, Gardner on the 83.
Bador popping off a 2:05.567.
Oh.
So now he beats Mantooth's 2:05.634 by a tenth of a second. So that battle for the $100 fast lap from Three Palms is getting pretty exciting back there. As is Gardner now. Look at Gardner. He was a 2:07.320 in that traffic out there. He and Emery going at it now for that number 4 position. This is going to, again, get exciting, I think.
So your leader is on a KTM, the number 70, Timmy Bador. Casey Brennan on the 38 here you see is in 2nd. Mantooth on the 48 has caught him from 3rd. So you're watching 2nd and 3rd on your screen right now on Racer TV, 38 48, 2 Yamahas. Easy to get them confused. And then the 9 of Addison Emery not too far behind them. And in fact, Emery trying to make some passes now. We're deep into lap traffic. Hard to figure out who's in the lead lap and who is not, especially in this class where it's essentially almost all KTMs and Yamahas, because they're the only companies that are investing with some R&D in the 2-strokes. Yamaha even does have a new look for their 2-strokes this year. KTM keeps on working on them. Here's a 38-48 battle. 38 is Brennan, 48 is Mantooth. 2nd place on the line.
Wow, so Mantooth turning about 2 seconds faster lap time last time around, 1.6 second gap, and he's almost covered that entire gap. So this next lap around, if Mantooth doesn't capitalize on a mistake by Brennan, he's going to be in position to start pressing him into a mistake if the lap times stay consistent. Look at this, he's catching up here in the closing moments of this 5th lap of racing. So I think lap number 6 is going to be pretty intense for the 38 and the 48 for that number 2 spot. There we go. They're 10 seconds now behind Bador, who's your leader, who just popped off another fast lap at 2:06.999, but still holding the fastest lap at 2:05.567. It is Brennan and Mantooth. Addison Emery checking in, 2:07.103. He's 4th place now, and right behind him is that Carlin Gardner, the 83 machine, less than a second behind. We've got that battle going. We got 2 great battles going on right now. Right now it's Mantooth trying to get around, going underneath the big Red Bull arch out there. I thought he showed him a wheel and might have gotten around Brennan, but Brennan, man, kept that momentum alive and kept going as he throttled his way out of that turn. He was late off the gas and on the brakes, and early on the gas coming out of that turn. So that's what held that position for him, because the 48 at Mantooth had the line to take that position away, but looks like Brennan was not going to be denied, at least at that moment.
So 38 and 48 keep on slugging it out, but no change in the order. I thought, like you did, that Mantooth had a line down on the inside and was going to make it happen. It did not. And they're 10 seconds behind Timmy Bador. So the man out of Lake, Michigan, that's Lake, Michigan, not Lake Michigan of the Great Lakes, but the town is Lake.
He's a merman.
Yeah, maybe he just lives in it. Lives in a lake in Michigan. Really want to figure out how far Lake Michigan is from Lake Michigan.
It's probably right on Lake.
Maybe. Lake. That's where I'm from, the lake. Want to go to the lake? That's where I live.
So we got that battle going on for second right now. The one back in fourth and fifth, about 12 seconds back, is as intense with Emery and Gardner right now, but we don't want to take our eyes off this battle as Casey Brennan continues to hold up under the pressure. Actually, I think he has risen a little bit up under the pressure to try and fend off what Mantooth has to offer here as we are nearing lap 6 complete. Timmy Bador checks in, 2:06.410, a 10.1 second lead at the end of lap number 5, and at the end of lap number 6 turns into and stays 10.126. Wow, amazing how that worked out. But here it is, Mantooth 0.4 of a second back on the clock, but I think it's on the track as what we're watching right now is Mantooth trying to come up on the inside as they go around the Yamaha Mechanics area and through the big forest on the backside. It is still on the outside, the 48 machine of Mantooth trying to keep that momentum in his favor, but somehow or another Casey Brennan keeps finding every little edge he needs to keep Mantooth at bay as they make the hard left-hand turn now, switching back, heading toward the Cometic corner there where they go into the GoPro 10 Commandments. Can the 48 of Mantooth get that drive? He's on the outside, but it looks like Brennan once again rises to the occasion. Now the storyland. This is where the story could be told for this battle for the number 2 spot as Brennan continues to hold point, but here comes Mantooth. He's switching up lines from one side of the track to the other now, trying to search for that fast line and going to the outside and high. Coming back out of that Storyland area, it looks like he may have actually lost a little bit of time in searching for those lines to get around the 38 of Brennan. So in the process of trying to find something faster, it looks like Brennan's consistency has held the number 2 spot at least for the most of another lap. But could I be wrong? Could I be speaking too soon around the big Rocky Mountains? Sweeper turn to the anthill, to the inside over the top goes the 38 of Brennan, and still Mantooth can't capitalize out there. It looked like maybe from the outside he had some great momentum rolling there and a good head of steam, but just couldn't make any progress out of it, so he still stays back in that number 3 position. And again, he's got to try to use different lines than that second place spot of Brennan in order to try to make that pass. If any mistakes be made by Brennan and he in the same line, it would certainly cause major problems for both riders as we make our way toward the finish line for lap 7 complete now for our second and third place battle. Bador already through 11 seconds ahead of the rest of the field now. Around the big Loretta Lynn billboard section we go, and we've seen Mantooth trying to go for a setup here the lap before. And we'll see if he's able to make that happen once more here as there's the battle. The other battle we were talking about between Carlin Gardner and Addison Emery. Emery has gotten around Gardner now. It was a 0.3 of a second gap as they came by, but all of a sudden Gardner is able to get around Addison Emery now and make the pass, but he has not made it stick just yet as they are on the forward side. Oh, man, big mistake there, it looks like, by Gardner, as Emery may have just gotten back by. Or is that Stocklin? Actually, that's Stocklin. Gardner's already up in fourth. That's Will Stocklin he's battling with, I guess. Yes, it is the 46. I thought I was looking at the 48. I'm sorry, or excuse me, the 83 for whatever reason, but it's the 46 machine. And that's Will Stocklin, who has moved up through the pack from 6th place, turning a 2:05.694, only a 1/10 of a second. 1/10 of a second for between that battle. Will Stocklin, just a 1/10 of a second, actually less than a 1/10 of a second on the fastest lap. slower than what the fastest lap turn by Bador was, but he, more importantly, has caught Addison Emery here on this lap now, and now the 46 is all over the number 9 machine. The number 9 had worked his way up into position, and now he is having the same thing happen to him that he had applied to so many other riders in his mission to where he is now in this race.
I'm sick and tired of riders coming through the pack. I cannot even keep up. This moto keeps changing over and over. Every time you think you're like, okay, this is the guy to watch. No, this is the guy to watch. It was Mantooth at one point. It was Brennan. Addison Emery was on a charge. Now it's this 46 of Will Stockland. And surprisingly, he does have, it looks like a modified pipe on that bike, considering he hails from Stockland. I wouldn't have expected to see any modifications on that machine. Probably the first pipe they've ever seen there.
He's the black sheep of the family out there.
Stockland, yeah, they don't respect him in the Stockland family for having modified parts. This is 5th and 6th. You're watching Emery and Stockland. Oh! Emery gets slowed up in the corner. Stockland stalls it. He's glad he's in the two-stroke class because it's easy to refire, and he holds off. I think that was a lap rider. So I don't think Stockland lost any positions.
Yeah, there's 12 seconds back to the 7th place rider, Daniel Mills. So he didn't lose any positions, but he did lose time.
Best brake check ever.
I'll tell you, and that's exactly what I was saying there a few moments ago in that battle. I was pointing out, Mantooth has gotten around Casey Brennan, by the way, for the number 2 spot. But Brennan and Mantooth was avoiding it at all costs, going in the same lines of what Brennan was going. And I had alluded to that. If he made a mistake, it could cause a huge problem. And that's exactly what happened in the battle behind him. So there is my point proven right there, right before our very eyes.
Oh, need to rub it in, man. All right? You know you've seen a race or two in your time. Now another battle on our hands. Kalen Gardner on the 83 Yamaha has caught the 38 Yamaha of Casey Brennan. And this is big. It's for the podium. I believe Gardner just realized our own Wes Kane is headed out of the tower to do the podium interview. So he's pumped up to talk to Wes, and he just turned it up and made the pass from 4th to 3rd.
Wow, a 2:06.8 last time around. Brennan had gotten so comfortable, he was running a 2:15.3. We sure it was just a matter of a fact, okay, I've got this dialed in, I'm just going to go ahead and cruise. But like us being surprised, I think a lot of other folks have been surprised at how quickly things are changing in this two-stroke BC 16 plus class.
Yeah, definitely not easy to figure out who the favorites are. They've all had good and bad moments in this race, except their leader, Timmy Bador. They've been all good, those moments.
All good. A 2:05.567 lap time, fastest pulled down by him. And again, he'll get a $100 bonus in this class from 3 Palms for that. But I'll tell you, all the action has been behind him. And Gardner some 7 seconds back behind Mantooth. I don't think Mantooth's going to rest on his morals on this one, but he did turn a 2:08 last time around. Carlin Gardner a 2:05.839, so he was about 2.5, 3 seconds faster. 7.3 seconds going to be tough to make up, though, with as little time as we've got, even if Mantooth kind of fades back or falls asleep here in the last few laps.
He won't fall asleep. I can almost guarantee you that won't happen. Hey, we got our leader. Here we go, the number 70 of Bador. Well, when Mantooth climbed up to 2nd, we said that Bador better bar the door, and he did. He did not let anyone challenge him, did not let anyone put the pressure on. How about that helmet, Rodney?
Oh, that's pretty slick right there. Very brightly colored and multicolored at that. And
Jeez,
I'm sure a lot of thought was put into that also.
Couldn't decide, though, if he wanted neon green or neon pink. So he went with both. And he's going to bring that helmet through the sand wash to the last time. What a dominating ride.
Maybe, yeah, exactly. He is just unbelievably on fire today on this two-stroke machine. Timmy Bador, I mean, it's a name that we've watched climb through the ranks of Loretta Lynn's over the years. I remember watching them in the 60s and 80s, come up through the ranks there. But, man, to watch him shine out here in this two-stroke BC class today is, it's finally good to see all the hard work, all the effort, all the heart and soul that he puts into this paying off for him.
Timmy Bador about to win this moto. That's two-stroke BC. He will be greeted on the podium. Wes Kane. There it is. Checker flag is out. Timmy Bador. Even a little bit of a fist pump there and another one. The number 70 is number 1 in this first moto.
Hey, Jason, you'll remember Timmy Bador, and you will too, Rodney, from the Mini Olympics. He was the kid from Michigan that flipped his visor up, stands it straight, mad BMX skills, like playtime for Timmy.
There you go. See, I knew I recognized
Yeah, you have.
on
He's been around.
purpose.
On
Yeah,
purpose.
the visor like that on purpose.
Literally straight up in the air like catching wind, and he finally just recently took it down and went normal and whatever. He didn't want to do it. Cool kid, super unique. His dad is awesome.
I don't know if he went normal. He has a pretty cool-looking helmet on, so he had to keep the look
There you
on
go.
it.
There you go. Just thought I'd give you all a little insight on him. He's a cool
That's
kid.
good.
He spends some time with us every year at our track in Bremen. Spends 2 or 3 months with us.
Yeah, he may get offended being called normal, man. You never know that.
Yeah, right.
Timmy's
not what I'm going for. I'm not going for normal. Mantooth second, and Kalen Gardner wins that battle with Casey Brennan. That puts Brennan in fourth, and Addison Emery in the number 5 spot. And we'll be sending it down to Wes Kane here on the two-stroke podium in just a moment. Good racing here, but $100 going to go to the fastest lap time of that moto, and I believe our winner is going to be Bador. No surprise, he did win the moto by the big gap, and he just edges everyone in fast lap time. 2:05.5. Bador gets $100 for it from 3 columns.
Fastest lap time of Mantooth, the 2:05.6, 2:05.7 by Carlin Gardner. Man, those guys are all vying for it. There's no doubt about it.
Yeah, only 1/10 of a second the difference. So we got Rodney there. We got some riders. We'll send it down to the podium.
All right, thank you. All right, Carlin Gardner down here on the podium, third in that moto. Congratulations out there. Tell me about it.
It was good. I had a pretty far outside gate. I thought I could have did a little better than that, but it was good. Track was rough. I had to push through all the way. Felt good all the way through, and had a pretty good battle with one of those guys over there. So it turned out pretty well.
Tell me about some of the good people helping you out.
Thousand Oaks, FMF, Fly, ODI, my dad, Ronnie Brown, Rod Lake, and anyone who else I forgot. Thanks.
Congratulations out there, Carlin Gardner with a third in Moto 1. Congratulations. Put your hands up. Bronze medal, now silver medal. Finished up second at 48, Bennett Mantooth. Hey, you got the fastest lap, too. You get a $100 bonus out there as well as a silver medal. Put this on right here. Congratulations out there. And the fastest lap, got a $100 bonus coming to you. Tell me about it, Bennett. Tell me about your ride.
It was a really good ride. My start was terrible. I got bogged down in that sand, and I don't even know where I came out. But I made a bunch of good passes and eventually worked my way up to third. And then had a little battle there and got in a second. But, I mean, I felt good. I got more left in me. I'm ready for the next 2 motos.
Well, congratulations on that ride. I know you got some good people helping you out. Who do you want to thank?
I got to thank the guys at Triangle Cycles and Alan Alfred at Team Motivate and Gary Bailey. He's really helped me a ton. And Travis Preston also. And let's see, Dunlop, FMF, Answer. So everybody, thank you.
All right, we'll see you in the next one. Bennett Mantooth. Now your moto winner, and he grabbed the whole shot. The number 70, Timmy Bador. Come on up here. Behind that bike. Congratulations out there. Tell me about your start.
The start was totally awesome. Got some pretty good tires underneath me that helped me get out there. I wasn't sure if I was going to get it, but I started seeing people letting off, and I did what anybody in my position would have done, and that's just hold it on to help support all my sponsors and everybody. I just can't thank everybody enough that's helped me get here. First and foremost, my father. He is not only my best friend, but, I mean, he's the checkbook, he's everything, and without him, I'd be nothing. I wouldn't be here. So give a round of applause to that guy right there, because he did it. It's him.
Congratulations out there. Anybody else you want to thank?
Yes, absolutely. Fuel Clothing, Jason Assad, Jason Adams, Frank Valerie Mann, Tech Care Suspension, Anna Burke. I think that's it. Oh, Ponton Graphics. They helped paint me an awesome helmet. I mean, I can't thank the guy enough. And I believe that's it this time.
All right, congratulations out there. Timothy Bador. He gets a $100 bonus. $100 bonus for a whole shot. Hold that bad boy up. There you go. Hold that bad $100 whole shot award. And moto winner with a gold medal. All right, Rodney Tomlin and Jason Wygant, back to you up in the tower.
All right, thanks a lot, Wes. No, it's actually Jason Wygant here. That was not Rodney. Kevin Kelly's going to join me up here. Right, that was not a good Rodney? Rodney did not even realize that was Rodney.
That was
Rodney
not a
doesn't think
good
it was
Rodney. All right.
All right, thanks a lot, Wes Kane. There's our senior. We have a lot of riders to get through here. It's a split gate, 45 plus and 50 plus will be racing together. Rodney is going to be glued to the window because ye old 5-time GNCC champion, friend of yours and mine, Rodney Smith, making his return to the ranch, or for all I know, his debut here. I don't know if he's ever raced here. I think he was pro before this event started. We'll be racing in the 50 plus class. More on that later. Let's give you the 45 plus riders first. The number 1 defending champion is Trampus Chad Parker. Number 3, Barry Karsten. 11 is Jackie Puntney. 14 is James Adams. Mike McConville is 16. Jerry Ray is the number 17. Chris Radzinski is number 18. Mike Treadwell, number 19. Daniel Zullo, number 20. John Choate, number 22. Howard Jabay is number 26. Darren Heft, 27. And Jimmy McIlvain is on the number 33 in senior 45 plus. Kevin.
Continuing on, you've got rider number 34. That's going to be David Jones. 36 is going to be Shane Vaughn. Tim Flippy, rider number 38. Todd Street, rider number 39. Rider number 40 is Greg Jurelius. And the New York Yankees catcher Brian McCann stopping in for a rider to bike number 43. Alan Alford, rider number 44. Daniel Breeden, number 45. Rodney Carrier, bike number 46. John Chewy Gruey is bike number 70. Eric Huffine, rider number 72. 73 is Dag Boyson. 77 is John, just south of the Mason-Dixon line. 86 is Lance Richette. 95, Todd Ulmer. 97 is Stephen Crow. Number 99 is Chris Likens. And in that plus 50 class, we've got number 7, Kirk Lewis. 13 is Bart A. Newman. Flying Mike Byers, rider number 15 in that plus 50 class. And continuing on there.
Number 74 and 50 plus is Tim Battaglia. William Hurst on the number 75. Frank Tussle, don't want to fight him. He's number 76. Earl May on the number 82. Ed Perry is the number 88. John Fitz is number 90. Mark A. Guy, he is on the number 91. Samuel Allen Jr. is the number 92. And Bob Weber is the number 98. Also in this 50-plus class. Number 21, James McGee. Number 24 is Kevin Messiah. Brian Jackson is number 25. Joe Day, number 29. Rodney Smith on the number 31. Andy Koistra on the 35. Ray Nibel on the 41. Jeff Callahan, number 42. Steve Fredericks, 47. Mike Farmer on the 51. Robert Nagy on the 52. Jack Lambert, 53. Chad Felicio, 54. Stuart McAvoy on the 56. Kirk Lawrence, 62. Ron Hepner on the 64. Terry Bidlack, 65.
That was
and
announcer
Harvey
suicide. You just ran the
Sorensen.
gauntlet on that one.
Oh, I made it. We made it through some of the pitfalls. So we'll do a double gate here, and we'll do our best to keep track of the 2 classes at one time. We'll have a 45 and a 50 plus, and maybe we'll dispatch 2 of us down there to the podium just to help wrangle, because we could have 6 or even potentially 8 people, depending on where the whole shot awards come from. 45 plus and 50 plus. Defending champ of the 45 division is Trampus Parker, multi-time champion here at the ranch, and he and the rest of the 45 plus riders are about to get their gate drop. Chad Bailey, who we had here on our intermission of our Racer TV show, there he is, our AMA starter. He flips it sideways. Let's go racing with our 45 plus.
Whoa, those stallions coming up.
Getting those front wheels high.
Suzuki rider out front, 44, but it's going to be Trampus Parker.
And John Gruey right there in the 70 as well. So Parker running that number 1 plate in the lead.
Little dab,
Gruey
that'll
right
cost him
him
in the points.
Oh, really? It's not trials.
Yes. Oh, it is not.
Yeah, don't worry.
It's not speed and style.
Gruey down to the inside, trying to take the lead, and he does. Wow.
Wow. Nobody puts Trampus in a corner. You're going to pay for that. Here he comes. And the card goes back up for the plus 50 riders. See if we can get them off of the gate nice and clean.
Been pretty good on the starts so far today. Don't mean to jinx anybody, but I think that sand slows them down a little bit too. Man, some good wheelie action coming out of that
old
gate.
School wheelies there. Looking to see the number 24 machine jumping out to the early
Kevin
lead.
Messiah on the 24 out of Herndon, Virginia.
Oh, it's firing it up in there, though. The Suzuki ride sneaking past Messiah. Not giving it up just yet, though. Bike number 31 in that number 1 spot now on the Suzuki.
As Kevin calls him, the expert tree dodger, Rodney Smith, multi-time GNCC champion, multi-time World Grand Prix Moto winner, or overall winner, in the lead on the 31. I think this is Rodney's first trip to the ranch as a racer, turned pro. before they had this thing here. That's what happens when you're dealing with the 50-plus class. These
you
guys
got
go back
that
a
were here
ways.
before the event was even happening. That's crazy. Look how whooped out that sand stretch is there right in front of the Rocky Mountain ATV.
Wow.
The sand wash, as it were.
Yeah, it's treacherous. That's just become straight up sand whoops. So here we go, 31 of Smith, trying to get. You want to come to the ranch and win a title in an age class, you're going to have to deal with the 82, and you know who that is.
Yeah, it's going to be Earl the Pearl May. That guy is a training fool down there with Ricky Carmichael, rides mountain bikes, probably rides 100 miles a week, still at it. And Gruey, quite possibly one of the more ripped up guys at the racetrack, still shredded up, looking good. As is Parker, man. He is looking good. Sounds a little weird, but I saw him with his shirt off all week in Oklahoma. I'm just being straight up with you. Guy gets it done. What is he, a two-time world champion?
Yeah, and he had won some titles here before that, and then started coming back here. I don't know, it's probably been a while now. I'd say it's been 6-7 years. I'll look it up. We got our Loretta Lynn's Hall of Fame as we watch the action. Gruey and Parker have had some unbelievable battles here the last few years, and they're about to have another one. Remember, we saw Gruey get the lead from Parker. Now Parker on the number 1 out of Louisiana has gotten it back.
So it's a staggered start here. You have the plus 45s take off first, plus 50s in tow about 30 seconds later. There's Parker coming through the 10 Commandments. Going to need some dental work after slamming his face down. Wow, tough-looking guy there. And we are checking out the big number 1, Parker, running it with style there. And Chewy Gruey's not going anywhere. He was going to hang tough there on the Kawasaki and give the number 1 of Trampus Parker fits. And, in fact, he may just sit there in second and hope for one of those bad motos. He's so consistent. He's going to get off the gate good. And one bad moto, and Gruey will go 2-1-2. And here they come back out of Storyland. First moto for these guys. A beautiful day. If you're sitting at home, it's hot everywhere else except for this little patch of the East Coast, Jason.
Oh, man, a rider is down, but he luckily is getting up. Trying to figure out who that is. Looking for the 15. That's, as you said, flying Mike Byers. The number 15 in the 50-plus class from Gainesville, Georgia. Hope he's all right. So our two classes, Smith continues to lead Earl May in 50-plus as we watch Parker and Gruey hook it up again here in 45-plus. Dag Boyson up to the number 3 spot.
Checking out a first call there for one of your boys. Home state guy there.
Barry Costin up to 6. Bad start for him on the number 3. Alan Alford, who I believe won our 30 BC class a couple years ago, and they switched that division to a BC designation. So he's got a title of his own. Here is Parker headed to the billboards. John Gruey all over him.
Another look behind the billboards. They ride right up into what used to be the pit area when they come around and make that right. They kind of veer into where we used to park. That's where Shea Bentley parked for his first title. He had a little conversion van, a tent stayed at the track. And I remember recording on a cassette his moto when he won. I brought a cassette tape there because I knew he was going to be good. Clicked record, recorded the whole moto, so I don't know if he still has
is
that
audio
or
video?
This is audio.
Oh, audio.
And
you recorded the announcing.
Yes, it was a video. Recorded the radio broadcast, clicked record, and somewhere there's a tape of him winning his title.
Just
somewhere,
like
Pingree
this.
is rolling over right now, saying no, not another title.
Battle for the lead here in 50-plus. Earl May to the inside of the 82 on Rodney Smith, and he gets it done.
They're already kind of encountering some lappers from the. I don't want to call them that because they're not lapping them yet, but Earl May barely holding off the number 31. That's going to be a good battle, and it's not going to go anywhere. He's used to going like 3 hours anyway, right?
Yeah, Rodney's just getting warmed up. But I'll tell you, it's got to be hard to come down here first time racing at the ranch compared to someone like May who just knows the drill, staging, and not only practice in the morning and how the track shapes up and wearing the bib. I would say the heat and humidity, but that's not really as big an issue as usual. But right now, Earl May taking the measure of Rodney Smith, pushing old Rodney back to the number 2 spot. Let's see if he can make a run.
Man, they're having to pass guys early in a moto, too, so you have to keep the guy behind you, and you got to get around these guys pretty quickly. Zigzagging through there, nice little pace there.
Yeah, exactly. He's just yeah. If anyone's dealt with lap riders in tight conditions, I'm sure it's Rodney Smith. So he knows how to deal with that.
I just called him Rodney Carrington.
Rodney Carrington. Is that from
the country comedian?
Okay, I was wondering who that was. I'm like, is that a singer here in Nashville?
No, it's a comedian.
The latest hit by Rodney Carrington. Picnicking in my truck.
Here's somebody taking photos in a a rhino there.
That's perfect right there. Here's looking at you. It's tough when you have two classes to follow at one time. There's Rodney Smith, of course, longtime Suzuki rider from his Grand Prix days all the way through his off-road days. Been riding Suzukis for probably, I'd say, about 35 years now. That's possible. He's in the 50-plus class. Trying to work his way forward out of Northern California. And losing a little bit of time, though. May has slipped him about a half-second gap.
Bart Newman in the number 3 spot. That is the plus 50 class. Raymond Neibel in the number 4 spot. Raymond smoked a grit right there on the podium. Is that right? A few years back, is he the one that smoked one? Or is that
Yeah,
Nagy?
Marlboro Red. Yeah, that was him.
Marlboro Red. It's
Yep.
100 degrees. He jumps on the podium. There's some
Wins
sort of
title.
Wins a title. And instead of spraying champagne everywhere, lights up a Marlboro Red. Shaves 30 months off of his life. It doesn't matter. He's pumped. And he sits in the number 4 spot. There you go, 4 spot.
All right, so that's a good battle there in the 50. As far as this 45-plus battle up front, Trampus Parker and John Gruey, it is a rematch from last year. Here are the moto scores. Parker and Gruey last year. Parker won it with a 1-1-2. Gruey had a 2-2-1. And they're back this year. Same deal. Look how close they are. Parker and Gruey. That isn't motocross amazing? One whole year has gone by.
Still the same speed.
They're the exact same speed again.
Same situation, same deal off the gate. They're so consistent. Then you got the kids in the 50 class that'll go 1:14:39.
Yeah, and that's good enough to win the title.
Exactly.
Good enough to win the title.
58
41
points combined.
gets it done. Parker just trying to get away. Gruey has to, could not get around that lap rider, and that's going to give Parker a little bit of a lead. Trampus Parker out of Italy.
In the chicane now. Here he goes aboard the scene. Around the finish area, down, of course, mechanics area there. He's aboard the aluminum frame KTM. Riders circulating clockwise here today in the Northern Hemisphere. John Gruey in the number 2 spot. 70 machine there, right past the mechanics area.
Gruey's got the glow-in-the-dark boots. That's nice. He's doing that. Just get a little cloud cover out there, pulling a roll-off.
That's correct. Out to a 40-meter lead there. I can't keep it together. I'll laugh the whole way through.
It's because Parker lived in Europe
And he
for about
raced
a
in
dozen years. And I think a lot of people thought he was European because he didn't
As soon
race
as you
pro.
hear him talk,
That was
Louisiana,
amazing.
right.
Apparently he got or became fluent in Italian. I would love to hear the Italian through
a country
that
Italian
Louisiana
accent.
Yeah,
Oui,
I'd like to
monsieur.
hear.
That's French, but whatever.
Whoa, riders down,
mechanic
and
there.
Parker able to maneuver through there.
Got to go into the smoke, man. Just stay in the smoke.
You can drive through the smoke hole.
There's
Look at Gruey's
Brian
cut
action.
back up.
Yeah, he's coming in. There's Brian Jackson there. They're getting around him as Parker works his way around some of the lappers. And you're right, Gruey's not going anywhere. In fact, he's drawn right up to the rear bumper of that KTM. He's on a 350 too, right? I know he is. He told me he's driving it.
Oh, really? Does it have a bumper, though? That's what
It
I'm
does.
really concerned with.
Whoa, hang on. That thing's got some power. The old Kawasaki about looped out on Gruey on the number 70 machine.
So Gruey, who I believe raced here at Loretta Lane Ranch in the very first year they held the event here back in
65?
'82. You would think so. These
Yeah,
guys feel like they've been around that long.
Talked to Barry Higgins. He raced here, and he goes, yeah, I remember racing in 82. I said, well, you're about 65 right then, right? Barry Higgins raced it.
120 years old now.
Yes.
Unbelievable. Down to the inside is Gruey in a 70. Look at that, doubling some braking bumps like a kid would do. Down to the inside, they're side by side, the 1 and the 70. Head shake for what? They don't care.
Turned down for what? Head shake
Head shake for what? So
look out.
Parker's able to hold on to the lead, but Gruey is all over him. Gruey, part of the Michigan Mafia. I'd have to say one of the founding members, considering his age. Look at Parker threading the needle.
He has got work to do, and Gruey, he's just clearing the line for him. That's a good thing about being that guy in the number 2 spot. What do you think his heart rate is with all these riders and everybody bouncing around?
Yeah, he's kind of the fullback right now, just making some daylight for Gruey to go through. So Gruey has it much easier, but at some point Gruey's got to figure out a line to maybe make this pass.
That is just pure riders all over this. Every time he comes to a turn, Trampus Parker is having to make a very, very important decision. Here comes Trampus again. He's got to just nudge this guy out of the way. A little bam, world-class nudge there from Trampus Parker on the Fly Racing KTM. Keeping her straight there, a little adjustment. And another situation. He's got to pick the right line. Hopefully this guy comes through there clean, because Gruey can then kind of decide where he wants to go. Look at that. Through the 10 commandments, we've got plus 50, plus 45, plus 30, plus 25, plus 15, plus 60, plus 65, and plus 70 riders out there. So
plus 70
yes,
class out there
I
right now.
Wow,
I didn't realize.
No,
wow.
plus 45, plus 50.
I
Sorry.
didn't know. Wow.
But look at all these guys, man.
It's crazy.
It's like traffic on the 405 out there.
Man, he's worked his way through all that. It looks like just a bunch of wild horses.
Yeah, with slow motion shots, like a Budweiser commercial.
On the beach. Yeah. Wild horses. So Parker has gotten through all of that traffic. I mean, he literally got through about 12 riders.
He's that guy in California with his helmet off, splitting lanes. You're like, man, what a jerk.
If somebody opens the door, you're done.
Dead.
You're
and
done.
That's Travis Parker.
Parker is backed by Graham KTM, Travis Parker Motocross Schools, of course.
Of course.
Advocare, Color Extreme, Factory Connection, Fly, Recluse, 100%, Aria, Kenda Tires, and Ankle Savers.
Oh, good for him. If he wears what he wore out in Oklahoma, he has a Advocare mask that looks like Captain America. He will wear that on the podium, and he will talk third person about Advo-Man.
What?
This is going to blow your mind. If he does this, he did it on the podium, his last podium with me. He goes, oh, it's got this crazy Batman-looking blue mask. He goes, Advo-Man finished third today, and he's gonna go third person, and Wes Kane's going to get his mind blown if this happens.
Oh, this is must-see TV here. Do not adjust your set. Oh, I hope Parker does it. Parker's going to get through all this lap traffic. Third of the class, by the way, is Mike Treadwell with number 19, Old Shreddy, and Barry Costin up to fourth. And Dog Boyson pushed back to the number 5 spot. Darren Heft, 6th in 45 plus.
Whoa, Darren Heft, his son Justin Heft, is riding there, so it's good to see him in the mix. You know, if Barry and Treadwell, looking at their lap times, a 2:09 for Treadwell, he can compete for the win. He's got to just get off to the start a little better next time. Like we always say, the first set of motos, throw those out the window, go second, third motos.
What happened to Gruey here? He lost a little bit of ground. Parker just getting through these wild horses a little bit quicker.
It looks like a stampede. Just get out of the way. The ground's rumbling.
Running of the bulls.
Good Lord. There's Gruey passing them 2-3. How many guys will these guys pass at the end of this race?
Yeah, it is.
I mean.
And what happens, there's a couple reasons for this. Obviously, we had a double gate and a 50-plus class. So we have more riders out there, and half of them started about a minute behind. But also, these age classes are just, that's all they are. They're age classes. It's not ABC. So you have different skill levels when you're talking about ex-pros, like
world champion Travis Parker.
Right, or same thing with Rodney Smith or Earl May there in the 50-plus. And then other riders are obviously good riders. They did qualify, but they might not have had that level of credential. So they're all mixed up in the track at the same time. That's where there's such a difference in there, an A rider.
And it's one of the few classes we'll actually double gate. And the reason being, they've done the testing of the data. They've looked at it. They know that the number of guys trying to qualify for this class really don't warrant a 40-man gate. We'd love to have it full. If there were 700 guys trying to qualify for 40 spots, and they would probably give them their own gate. It's just a matter of time. We don't have enough time to do it. There's other guys.
They figured out a way to get extra riders a shot to race out here. Gruey looks like he's ready to put in one last charge on Parker with 6 laps complete. Now it'll be 7.
Ugh.
Man.
Track is getting rough.
Gruey's not afraid to go for it, man. When there's some big braking bumps, he is jumping them and skimming the top.
Waiting on our leader. There he is, Travis Parker by the mechanics area. He'll look over to his right. No, he won't. I know what I'm doing. I'm leading. That's all you need to know.
Leave me alone.
He wrote them a pit signal. When he came by, he wrote them something.
He told the mechanic what to do.
Yeah, get back. Give me some water ready.
Change this. Yeah.
I'm about to slap West. Get my mask ready. I'm going to talk.
So lead is 3.1 seconds for Parker over Gruey. Treadwell, like you said, matching the lap times at one point, but then he got stuck in the traffic. And Karsten, 6 seconds behind Treadwell in the number 4 spot.
Whoa, off the track goes the number 1.
Wow, little rest stop there.
Take your time.
Yep.
Back in the mix there, I believe that was the number 70. Looking for the Dayglow boots. There they go. That is still Mr. Gruey. And look out, man. See, you got lap riders just kind of zigzagging everywhere, and this now just little bombs that you have to avoid if you are Travis Parker en route to a first moto win. Taking a look at the plus 50 class, still Earl May on the number 82 Kawasaki Rodney Smith, about 21 seconds back. Bart Newman 3rd, Raymond Nibel is 4th, Bob Weber is 5th, Samuel Allen Jr. 6th, Terry Bidlack 7th, Chad Felicio is 8th, Ron Hepner is 9th, and Mike Farmer rounds out your top 10 in that plus 50 class as we continue to watch Trampus go at it.
Gruey's still there, though. Down to the inside. Hey, we need Robbie Wageman to the MX Sports office. Robbie, rate.
Let's try it again.
Try that again.
Robbie Wageman.
But that doesn't look like a W. I thought it was, but it actually looks like an R. Rageman.
If your name ends in Ageman.
Yeah, I think it might be Wageman, but they wrote Rageman. Either way, if your name is Robbie Wageman or Rageman, I'll take my chances that there's only one of you.
They had a list when they called it in.
And go to the office. You're needed at the MX Sports office. We go back to this battle here on RacerTV.com. It's the number one of Parker over this double, headed toward the finish line area, and that's it. He gets the moto victory. John Gruey, just like he was 1 year ago, right on his heels in the first 45-plus moto. Remember, it was a 1-1-2 and a 2-2-1 battle between Parker and Gruey a year ago, and they're back in 2014, and it looks darn similar, and that means we're in for some close racing. Now, remember, we'll also have that 50-plus class of Earl May and Rodney Smith coming through. Trying to find the 82 of Earl the Pearl, who has a huge collection of moto wins here. If the racing thing ever needs a way to defray the cost of moto medals, you can always hawk those. He's won a lot of those over the last couple of years, Earl May, and has been racing here pretty much since the inception of the event.
There's a look at Earl right there, down through the sand wash. Standing up still, man. I'd be sitting down so tired. Earl put so much time on that bike, though. No worries. There is the lovely Miss Sherry Parker. Travis getting things all set up, throws his own bike up there.
Did you see the lack of effort that it took for him to lift that bike up on that stand? Didn't even need to put the hip into it or anything. We go back to May. May's got a big lead, 25 seconds now.
That's convincing.
On Rodney Smith. I think Arm Pump might have gotten the better of Smith in this first moto of the week. And first time racing out here, I believe. Bart Newman is third. Ray Neibel in the number 4 spot, smoking it out there. And Bob Weber looks like he'll round out the top 5. Checker flag coming out for Earl May. Yet another moto win for the Pearl. Bringing it home to Florida. And a little thumbs up.
Hey, thanks, Earl.
All right.
And it's going to take a bit of time down there as we are going to have to go through 6 different podium winners coming up here in this plus 45, plus 50 class. There is Earl May in high def. Don't want to get too close to that, Earl. Keep the helmet on, my man.
And we'll let Wes Kane take it on the podium when he's ready. And we'll talk to all the top riders in both.
Reality TV shot.
Oh, I got him down here. I got the guy that's the president of Hair Club for Men. Come on up here, Mike Treadwell, finishing third in that first moto. Come on up here. We got a medal for you.
I'm going to wring your neck with that medal, you know.
Come on up here, Mike Treadwell. Get in front of the podium here. Great job out there. Tell me about it.
I drew number 26 on the gate, so I was far outside, and I didn't get the jump I wanted, and I just charged the whole time to get up to third. You know, the bike was actually riding a KTM 350. It's like the perfect bike for this track, and having a really good time on it. It's a really fun bike, and just got to get a better start next moto. That's all.
Who do you want to thank?
Well, obviously, I guess I got to thank Hair Club for Men, according to you.
That's right.
But I got to thank KTM. Brooks Hamilton at KTM hooked me up. Motorsports Nation back home in Connecticut. Factory Connection, Ziggy put a good setting on there. Really good for me. Tested a bunch for this race, and he took care of me. Pro Circuit, like I said, bone stock bike with a Pro Circuit pipe on, and the thing ripped, so I'm really happy with that. Troy Lee Designs, Garnet Boots, Renthal, bars, sprockets. Smith Goggles, TSS Graphics. Drawing a blank, West K Mafia. You know how it goes.
All right, congratulations out there. Mike Treadwell finishing up third. Come on up here. I'm looking for my second place. John Gruey, come on up here. And you got the Bell Helmet $100 whole shot award coming at you. Grab and hold this bad boy. Let's get up in the front here. John Gruey with the whole shot. I've got a silver medal for you. I'm going to bling you out. Epic battle out there. Congratulations out there, John Gruey. And Trampus Parker having at it. Tell me about your ride.
Man, it's just so good when you get out front with these guys and the racing's so good and it's clean, and it's just so much fun. The track was really good, I thought. Plenty of lines, good passing. I had nothing bad to say. I had a lot of fun.
Who do you want to thank?
Definitely Team Babbitt's, Amsoil, Kawasaki, Decal Works, Fox, Twin Air, Dr. D, Renthal, and Moto Master, and for sure Bell Helmets. They helped me out, so I'm pumped to get this Whole Shot award in their name.
Congratulations out there. Give it up one time for John Gruey. And now, Moto winner, come on over here, Trampus Parker. Congratulations out there. Yeah, you put your bling out. Come around the back of the spike so we can get a look at you. Trampus, great job out there. Tell me about it.
Well, first of all, I want to say thanks to you. I heard what you're doing with the helmet. And my mom and dad, my birthday was the other day, the 27th of July, and my birthday present was $100. But that I'm going to hand over to you because I feel that's a way better cause than that I need it. McDade's son and everything. So that $100 I'll bring over to you after a while because I think we all need to support the motocross community.
Yeah, take it up, give it to Verb Moto. That's where it's at. I'm going to have all the champions sign that helmet. We're going to give it away just before the talent show on Friday night, so I appreciate that very, very much.
No, I appreciate y'all. I just want to say that I feel blessed anytime I pull up here on the start line and I look over and I see guys like John and Treadwell and all these guys riding the vet class because I'm blessed to get to ride with such great riders and good, clean, fun riders to race with. So anytime I can pull up on a starting line and race with these guys, I know it's a blessed day, and, it's great. Then I'm also blessed, with all these sponsors that help me out. Donnie Graham for hooking me up with this KTM. My wife, Sherry, for really taking care of me because she's the one that makes me warm up before every race, even though I don't want to. And she knows without it, my back would go out or the metal hip might seize up. But she takes good care of me. And then I got to thank everybody else, Fly Racing for hooking me up with this gear. I even wore my sweatsuit underneath so I could stay warm. This stuff's so cool. And then FMF for hooking me up with this exhaust that I threw on the stock bike and nearly looped out a couple of times, but I'll get used to it the next moto. Advocare products, because without that I would be in a heap of trouble. It keeps me rehydrated. It gives me energy. The post-workout recovery is awesome. Speed Graphics for the sweet graphics, the easy ups. Motorsport for hooking us up this year. I gotta really thank the Crossland team for bringing out the big rig and letting all my riders feel what it's like to be a factory rider and park under a big rig. They brought it out, Chris Crossland and the guys. And one of my best friends, Andy Judkins, who made all this happen, a big thanks to him. And 100% for hooking me up with goggles with 21 tear-offs that looks like there's nothing but a lens on. And, Kenda tires. They sent a new tire I'd never rode. I threw it on for the race. And Mike and all the guys at Kenda Tires, thanks a lot. I thought I had the whole shot, but I guess not. I couldn't see the line. But no big deal. The race win's more important. And the Kenda Tires definitely got me out there. So a big shout-out to everybody. If I forgot you, I'm sorry. I'll try to remember you next moto.
Congratulations out there. Give it up one more time for Trampus Parker. Yep, Earl May, we're going to put your bike up on top. We're going to get our medals, and we're going to talk about the plus. All right, come on up here. We got the Whole Shot Award bell helmet. Kevin Messiah, come on up here. You got the Whole Shot. Hold up this card right here. Here you go, right here, Kevin. Come up front. Kevin Messiah, $100 bell helmet Whole Shot Award. Great job out there, Kevin. And tell me about your start. Tell me about your start.
Well, I had a good pick. That's half the battle, and got a straight line. So I just cut in, and God have it, I got the whole shot. So I'm blessed to be here, and I'd like to thank Loudon Motorsports, Works Creation, and Factory Connection for support today.
All right, congratulations out there, Kevin Messiah with the Whole Shot. 50 plus. Let's talk to Bart Newman. Bart Newman, we got a silver medal for you. Come up front here. Bart Newman, tell me about your ride.
Well, I started off way on the outside, but my son Kurt got the gate packed up good, so we got to start in the top 5 and just let it roll.
Who do you want to thank?
Man, I got to thank Kirk Trampus, John Schaefer, all the Michigan folks that are cheering this old fat guy on like he's a superstar, so I really appreciate that. Championship Power Sports, CR Suspension, GLMX, Throttle Jockey, and 100%.
Congratulations out there, finishing third, Bart Newman. The 31 of Rodney Smith, come on up here. We got a bronze medal for you. Rodney Smith, congratulations out there. Tell me how your moto went for you.
Went good. I haven't had a chance to do much riding, but I got a pretty good start and got out there. And, I've never ridden here before, so I don't know much lines. I got about 10 minutes yesterday. And, no excuses. Earl rode a real good race, and I tried to just hang in there with him. Had a little trouble with some lappers. And, to be honest with you, my cardio stayed pretty good, but I lost a lot of strength in my body. My arms got weak. But no excuses. We'll have fun. We'll give him a try next summer.
I know you got some sponsors. Want to give them a shout-out?
Yeah, I'd like to thank Moose Racing, obviously for helping me out through my whole career since '94. Moose originated here, and it's been a good part of watching them grow and continue and be a big support of all GNCC and motocross racing and Parts Limited also, and Alpine Star Boots and Smith Goggles, Dunlop Tires, and everybody that helped me out, VMAR helmets, and it's been fun. It's been a good chance.
All right, congratulations. He's finishing up second, a bronze medal. Let's hear it for Rodney Smith. And now from Tallahassee, Florida, your 50-plus Moto 1 winner. Give it up for Earl the Pearl May. There you go. You got it. Spin that bad boy around. Earl, great job out there. Tell me about it.
It was awesome, man. It was, me and Rodney were right there together and battling back and forth. He passed me, and I was able to get by him, and it was a lot of fun. It's like 20 years ago. We used to ride together at some of the nationals, and we're talking 2 strokes and back at the Gatorback National and all that stuff up there. So it was a lot of fun.
Tell me about some of the good people helping you out.
Oh man, my wife's been awesome. Going at home, doing lap times and all, keeping me training. Aaron and Todd at Fox, those guys are great. Kawasaki Team Green, Pro Circuit, Fox, Oakley, Dunlop, Drew at Flow Plates, Billy at Stellar. I gotta give a shout out to my guys at Tallahassee Orthopedic, Dr. Berg. I broke my wrist back in March. Didn't know if I was gonna make the race, and he got me in for surgery like the next morning after I broke it, and I've been mountain biking and stuff with him, getting ready, so I'm pumped just to get to ride here.
You guys are all over. We're checking you out on Instagram. You're at the white fences. You're mountain biking. You're training hard, Earl.
Getting ready for it. The days are going to come, right?
I hear you. All right, guys, give it up. Moto 1 winner, 50-plus, Earl May. And we're going back up to the tower.
Thanks a lot, Wes. Hey, for those of you watching on Racer TV, we're going to go to a short little break, and we will be right back in a couple of minutes. And for those of you here at the ranch, I'm going to go ahead and load the gate for you. Women's plus 14 years and older now, just finishing up with their parade lap. And we will let you know who's going to be on the gate. Number 1 is going to be Mackenzie Tricker. Number 11, Holly Hill. Number 13, Brooke